TikTok, time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the world. It's your friendly neighborhood philosopher here, and AP. Welcome to the Waiting for AP show, where we always wait for AP.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Hello. Hello.
Hey, AP,
Yes.
you're giving a bad reputation. See, most people don't know any Turkish Germans. You're
I'm
like
doing this
the
specifically because I have a Turkish name attached to me, so I want to specifically give it a bad reputation because I don't like Turks. So
that would be a funny like some sort of funny movie, like someone's from some group, but he actually hates his own group. So he goes around doing everything he can to make himself look bad because it makes his group look bad.
yes,
Wouldn't that be good?
it's working. It's working. See, perfect.
Hey AP, I've heard
Yes.
that your video that was copyright struck by the clowns, whoever runs Dr. Phil's YouTube page, was trying to block what is indisputably fair use. And of course, I heard they finally lost and gave up, and your video's been restored. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. That is a very, very highly watched live stream that we had, where we reviewed Mossab Hassan Youssef going on Piers Morgan and talking. And it was obviously fair use, where we watched portions of it and commented a lot on it. It was taken down for a copyright claim. I appealed, they restored it, and then the other side once again issued a final copyright claim. And I was like, hey, I'm escalating now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
which
what we
gave them
do.
10 days to provide proof that they have gone to court over this claim.
Mhm.
And then if they don't provide proof, then their claim drops and the video is restored. So they didn't do it. I won in the end. This is what we do.
This is what we do. We win. We
We
win.
win.
We go this way, we win. We go that way, we win. You try this, we win. You try that, we win. We just win. It's what we do.
Yeah.
And so, those of you who tried to keep AP's video down, you are looking all kinds of stupid.
You're humiliated, boy.
You've
You're
been
humiliated.
humiliated. Hey, you should make a video. AP humiliates Dr. Phil.
Yeah. By the way, I came prepared. Just for those who are wondering, I was feeling kind of cold and I wanted to send a message to the world, so I put this hoodie on.
Mhm.
But then I realized, wait a minute, I'm going on a Christian channel,
It's
so
a good Christian channel.
I decided to censor it.
Yeah, we don't have any. We don't have any of that foul language over here.
Yeah, I decided to put a boob tape on it to have a thing,
Mhm.
to have it censored and appropriate.
That is good. That is vastly superior to the behavior we've come to expect from atheists and Turkish Germans.
Now it only says F Hamas, not yes. Yes.
Still better. Still better. All right.
Yeah.
All right, AP. So we're going to cover a number of topics during this live stream. You ready?
Yes.
Are you ready to have your mind blown? Wait a minute. We got a couple super chats already.
I've never been readier.
Let's go through these super chats real quick, and then we're going to jump right into. We're covering a bunch of topics during this live stream, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to kind of go through them rapid fire. We're going to talk about some blonde reverts. Some blonde reverts who find out that, hey, as soon as we revert to this wonderful religion we heard about on TikTok, people start harassing us and telling us what we're supposed to do. We're so confused now. So we're going to look at that.
Who could have thought?
We are going to check out some of what's going on with some college protesters because they're doing some really stupid stuff in completely different ways. Like some of them are charging police with garbage can body armor, and others are bowing down and praying to Allah in order to show solidarity. So we're going to be checking out that. We're going to be checking out Inspiring Philosophy, posted a very short video response to Sneeko, but really exposing Sneeko for being a Dawa clown who is mindlessly regurgitating some of the stupidest Dawa of all time. And we will be checking out that Elon says Nick Fuentes is returning to Twitter. He says he's letting him back on. The king. There we go. Foolish Hamas. There we go.
Yeah.
It's funny. If you move that sticker over, it'll just say Ulish Hamas.
Oolish.
Yeah, it sounds like Scandinavian. Yeah, Ulish. Yeah, they are Ulish. Do you think
They're
they are
very,
Ulish?
very oolish.
They're more Ulish than you are. Ha, yeah. Why do they all sound like that up there? Oh, boy.
Indeed.
All right, we'll take a couple super chats real quick, and then we'll jump into some videos. Happy Sabbath, and yes, unicorns are rhinos. That's true.
Rochester says,
AP.
"Cut that clown off. Why is your problem with Sneeko? And he's like a wonderful person, beautiful person."
Yeah. I've said before, I kind of like him. I don't think he's just like born evil, unlike some of the other guys. He just seems like a young guy who became too popular too quickly, and it affected him.
And he's kind of an imbecile.
Yeah, and not terribly bright, but good at getting people to watch him, and that can be a dangerous combination because there are groups out there who would love to take advantage of someone who's not very bright and who can get a lot of people watching him. There are people who focus on getting people like that on their side. AP makes me love Turks so much. I wish they were real. Yeah, me too.
They will never be.
I don't see why AP is making you like Turks though.
Yeah.
D Wood and AP. Try not to be late. Challenge impossible. 99% fail. Yep, we have a 99% fail rate of anything that involves AP. But like with his copyright thing, we win in the end, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. When we are in time, we actually deliberately delayed a little bit just so we are not in time.
Yeah,
to keep tradition.
It's all part of our plan to throw you guys off.
Yeah.
It's hypocritical for AP to say Muslima reverts are suspect for not wearing hijabs when he doesn't even wear, let alone tip, a fedora. Do better.
That is true.
You got served. Jennifer, hello from India. Hi there. Hi, India. Greetings to India. Messianic Apostate says, if killing those who have been killing us is terrorism, then let history be witness that we are terrorists. Osama bin Laden, 2001. Powerful dawah.
True words.
False Doctrines Exposed said, I would love to chat with AP about the unbunkable book of Daniel. AP would get humiliated, as he always does.
Of Daniel the Kikachu, what?
AP, we have a request here. I've quoted this one before. Please explain Sahih al-Bukhari 7142. Racist or no? You actually have a fedora? I don't know the different hat's name. Is that called a fedora?
Yes, it is. It's kind of dirty, though. It was just laying on the ground somewhere in the corner. I just found it.
Well, it probably has little Quran bits and stuff all over it.
Possibly. Please explain Sahih Bukhari 7142. Racist or...
This one's a simple one.
What is that even?
Take your time.
Mr. Bukhari. You should listen to and obey your ruler if he was even if he was an Ethiopian slave, a black slave whose head looks like a raisin. Mm-hmm. Raisin hands. Is it racist?
The Muslim defense of this is saying, yeah, but it says you should obey him even if he's your ruler. But they're not really following the reasoning involved. It's, I'm telling you to obey your ruler, even if the example I'm about to give is the last person that any of my followers would ever want to actually obey. So if your ruler turns out to be an Ethiopian whose head looks like a raisin, that's his words, not mine, then you should obey him, period. So he gives, as an example, a person that his followers are least likely to obey. So why would they be not likely to obey an Ethiopian?
In his defense, it could be that he is aware that his culture is extremely that his culture is very racist, and so, they don't welcome black people and sub-Saharan African people generally. And he's like, I know, we don't like them black people down here, but even if it's one of them black folks, if he's your ruler, he better obey. Like maybe that's his thinking. There could be there's still something redeemable about it.
Yeah, AP always giving the benefit of the doubt to good old Mo. To good
Good
old
old Mo.
Mo. Good old
Good
Mo.
old Mo.
Let's see. Where is your proof that the hijab is holy clothing? We're about to go into that. We're about to look into that. And we have women who are actually objecting, and they don't realize this is what's making them targets, right? They're on like Twitter and stuff like that, and they're saying we don't have to wear the hijabs because we don't think that's what the Quran is actually saying. I don't realize like there are Muslim men who don't want these women setting an example for other Muslim women, so they're going to become obsessed with getting these women under control.
Yes.
What are
How
you
about
doing?
this one? Finding Hamas. Like Finding Nemo.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good Finding Hamas. Kisses to Masab. JC loves AP and D Wood. Thank you. Yes, that's true.
Thank you. Thank you.
She's got a good picture that
Wait,
that chick who debated
kisses. That's why it says kisses.
Kisses. Let's see. In France is France and Germany doomed by Islam if they don't hit back by 2050?
No, not France, not Germany. The UK is. I'm not sure about France and Germany.
I just saw an article. I haven't. We might check it out, or I might make a video about it, or something like that. But it was from the Daily Mail, and it was saying that statistics now show that young German kids are converting to Islam just to avoid the bullying and harassment right now. In Germany, they're converting.
I assume they feel intimidated by Muslims.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Doesn't that remind you of in Ibn Ishaq? I believe it says at some point that after the first victory of the Muslims,
people started converting because they're scared.
Yeah, they felt intimidated by the strength and they were just scared of the Muslims, so they started converting out of fear.
Yeah, and guys, all of you who try to destroy things in Western society and not realizing what's going to move in when you weaken Western society, there are certain. I'm not even talking about true or false here. I'm saying some things are good at enduring when outside pressure comes, right? So, for instance, Pakistan. Egypt, you've had Christian communities there for centuries, even in the midst of persecution. They still remain Christian. Jews, wherever they went. Yes, to be clear, you have Christians and Jews and so on who would leave over time or something like that, or convert to something else. But they still maintained Jewish communities, even in areas where they were persecuted. There was something strong culturally that said, look, if someone's persecuting you or whatever, you endure it. And you don't stop. You don't abandon it. If you weaken society where people really don't care about anything, and then you've got a culture that comes from outside and says you're going to believe this, or we're going to just constantly harass and bully you, and the people don't really believe in anything or have any sort of confidence, they don't have any strength left as a culture, they're going to buckle. So you better figure out a backup plan, ladies and gentlemen, because y'all just thought, hey, we'll just wipe out every sort of tradition and foundation of Western society. We'll get rid of all that. We'll crush it all. And then things will go way better. And look what's happening. Better come up with a plan real quick. Good question here. Why is AP hiding his Hitler Youth haircut?
You're hiding, boy. Hiding. Because I'm still waiting for my mustache to grow sufficiently so that I can shave these parts off.
Hey, what's funny is you got a request for a hat. You got criticized for not wearing a hat, and then you put on a hat, and then they say you're hiding your hair. Interesting.
Yeah, see, you can do it.
Here we have the fact people are pointing out the Jews must be paying AP to be late. You see, do see. We all see this.
Yeah, we see.
I choose the banana.
Think about the children.
So now we got the cows are a thing, grapes are a thing, bananas are a thing.
Yes.
And someone coming along 6 months from now, when we have, by that time we'll have like 500 different things, and newcomers are not going to understand what we're saying about anything. I want to see the fedora, but background too dark. So you have a dark background. You have a dark background, it makes it difficult to see your
I
fedora.
am pretty dark.
If y'all ever want a day off from the news, you should consider reviewing God's Gang. It's grade A cringe. God's Gang. I don't know what that is.
If you ever want a day off from the news, just get the news.
Word in the street is that Avery and Sam might debate Uthman and Sneeko today. There's no way that's going to happen. I know they have an open invitation. It's not going to happen. No one's going to show up. That's ridiculous. Final form apostate prophet. Alan stands no chance against my logic and reasoning. That's final form, AP.
This is not my final form yet. You haven't even seen my final form.
No, we haven't even peaked yet. Isa is the word of God. Isa will return to judge the living and the dead. Isa is the spirit of God. Muslims, do you actually study your book or do you just sing the words? Yeah, they have no explanation. The explanation for why Jesus is so radically different is just Allah knows best.
Allah knows best. That's the funny thing. I made so many videos in the past that Muslims always want to respond to. Nobody ever responded to, even despite people saying, "Can you please respond to this stuff?" Nobody ever responded to the video that I made about how Islam gets Jesus completely wrong, because these are serious questions. If you are approaching Islam from a Christian viewpoint, you should be asking Muslims, why in the world was Jesus born of a virgin in Islam? Why does he have these miracles? Why is he the only figure who breathes life into lifeless beings, and brings them to life? Basically, creates life with the permission of Allah. Why is he the only person doing these things?
Because Allah knows best. Because Allah knows best. Allah knows best that He's going to make Jesus so unique that people start worshiping Him. But Allah wants Him to do that so He can punish them for it.
Because Allah wanted to make it difficult. He wanted as many people to fail as possible so He can punish all of them.
What are your thoughts on Walid Shubat's theory of the mark of the beast being Islam? Agree or disagree? Disagree. That's been responded to by Dan Wallace, who is one of the foremost authorities on the Greek language. Hey, AP. AP, that's you heard of Dan Wallace? Daniel Wallace?
No.
He's a Greek scholar. That dude's interesting. So he became like the man on biblical Greek, to where he's writing the books on biblical Greek. Then he got some brain infection that destroyed his memories. He didn't know any more Greek. He forgot it all. He lost like massive parts of his memory. Then he used his own books to relearn Greek. That's pretty cool. Pretty wild stuff. Wow. And then became, again, one of the leading authorities on biblical Greek. Interesting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Pretty beast.
Hayden says, have you heard of Bob from Speaker's Corner? Yeah, of course. You should collaborate with him. Been there, done that. And maybe even take a trip to Speaker's Corner in the UK. I'm sure that would happen. Bob is pretty based.
Yeah.
Tony Masters, the blondes joined Islam because they liked the part when Muhammad got his revelations foaming of his mouth and screaming like a camel. I don't know if that's the reason, but that could be one of them.
That might be one of the reasons, yeah.
More ads for Islam in Germany than ever before. You're going to get more. You're going to get more. What's crazy is like, I mean, these are the same people who in the 20th century were, we'll take on the entire world, we'll fight the entire world, we control the world. And now they're like, please come beat us more. Please, sir, may we have another? Yeah, will you come defeat us too? We want to be beaten by you. No, now we want to be beaten by you. No, take our children. Stupid Germans. They can behave completely differently, but it's always like suicidally bad in some way.
It's so ridiculous. People know I grew up in Germany. I went to school in Germany up until the age of 16. And I witnessed this whole attitude of, I mean, I heard that quite a few times of, or especially we here in Germany, especially we Germans, we have a responsibility to history and to humanity. We need to make things right and show tolerance and understanding and this and that because of because of the World War, because
Mhm.
of Nazi Germany and all that. And
Yeah.
the thing is, the big irony of that is, though, like they think, there was this big mistreatment, this massacre of Jewish people, which is why we as Germans have a responsibility to be as tolerant and as understanding as possible to a
The people who want to kill
population
them, the people who also want to slaughter the Jews. Is
a
that right?
population that hates the Jews and wants to eradicate the Jews. Are you?
Dude, you should make a short video like that, just making fun of this. Because of what we did to Jews in World War II, we need to show we're extremely tolerant towards a group that wants to destroy Jews even more than us. Makes sense, right? That powerful German logic.
Yeah.
Can you make a video debunking Billy Carson? No. And his ancient alien and Jesus being alien descendant? No. That will not happen unless that became some super big thing. I'm sure there are channels that are interested in that sort of thing. That ain't me. I don't think it's AP either.
That ain't me. It ain't me.
Mr. Bukhari. Erdogan supports / loves Hamas. Would he be okay with deranged Christians doing a full October 7th to Turks in the name of liberating Constantinople? No,
Of
I don't
course,
think he
there
would be.
wouldn't be, but Turkey is a very sick and very twisted country, and a very sick and twisted nation. On top of being incredibly ignorant and stupid, so it is not surprising that the president of this sick and twisted nation would turn toward Islamism and then actually befriend and go together and shake hands and declare his alliance with a terrorist organization that is known for massacring, blowing themselves up, and raping the civilian population of a peaceful, developed country. Um, and Turks are also very so. Turkey's population happens to have big issues of racism. The racism that in Turkey, if you heard stuff that Turks think and say in Europe or in the West in general, you would probably have a heart attack or something. I don't know.
Mm.
Racism in the West is nothing compared to racism in Turkey. It's insane.
Lots of places in the Middle East in general, by the way. I used to teach when I was in college. I used to teach English as a second language. There's like a little tutoring job, and all my students were Muslims from the Middle East. And these guys, they didn't even think it was weird, right? They had no idea that what they're saying was messed up. They just, as we're talking and stuff like this, they're blurting out all this super racist stuff, like it's totally normal. And
Yeah.
and because they can say it around me because I'm white and I must agree with them or something like that. It was weird.
It's the Western people are so calm and so timid, they don't even realize it. It's so funny. But Turkey has big problems, and
Big problems.
Turkey doesn't deserve really to be in charge of the territory and all that and everything
Nope,
they
they
have.
don't.
So I would wish for a future where Greek heritage is restored
Let's do
and
it.
Turkey falls apart. So
Let's do it,
honestly,
Greece. Get ready, Greece. We miss Ninja Mommy. When can we see her again?
yes.
The question was, when can we see her again?
Oh yes, you can.
Okay, there you go. I was told Mike Winger at night beats up homeless people and kicks puppies. Totally true. I haven't seen what he does at night, but one time there was a little puppy, and I thought he was about to lean down to pet the puppy, and instead he punted it. He punted that thing like an NFL punter. Thing went over a house. It was disgusting. That was like, and that's like the 15th worst thing I've seen Mike Winger do.
What was the worst thing?
I can't even say it. I can't even say it. The whole channel would get shut down. Alhamdulillah, just wait until these blonde reverts hear about where they have to wear the leather straps. Curious how AP always conjures out random items from behind him like an RPG character. Everything on the floor. Use Mossab shekels to buy a cabinet. Yeah. It is like a video game where you're like, you're walking down the street and, oh, let me pull out my bazooka.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
now let me pull out this. Let me pull out that. Oh, let me pull out my food.
That is true.
Let's see. The 4 horses coming out of the open scrolls being white, red, black, and green in color, the same color as the flags of Muslim countries. AP, new law, jail for reading and quoting Ecclesiastes.
Psst, I would burn the place down.
Gosh, super chats are coming in. Anyway, we got more super chats. We'll go ahead and jump into some videos here. AP.
Yes.
So you have these ladies on TikTok, and they watch TikTok Dawa videos, and then some of them actually convert, and they talk about how cool and fun it is, and wow, it's so cool, it's so awesome, converting to Islam, and wow, and then they get, of course, a burst of attention, right? They get a burst of attention. People are addicted to attention nowadays. One of the things that is really, really to do if you want attention, convert to Islam. You're going to get some negative attention. People are going to complain about you, and that makes you feel like a victim. But being a victim is another way of getting attention. And they'll also get tons of praise from the Muslim community. Oh, you're making such a great choice. You're making such a great choice. And that really feels good. You're one of the good ones now. You're a good person. You're a great person. So you start making videos about your journey as a Muslim, and all of a sudden something interesting happens. The people who are praising you for making the right choice start telling you over and over and over again what you have to do. And shocker, you didn't know that they were going to tell you what to do, and that they were going to enforce rules on you, and that they were going to tell you there are all these things that you have to do now. And they're shocked, AP. Shocked, I say. But let's go ahead and check out an example of what I'm talking about. Let us do this. Here we go.
Salam alaikum, good morning.
Alaikum salam.
We need to talk.
Okay.
I get comments like this about 50.
The comment says, sister, please start to cover your hair. That's not even disrespectful, right? It's just, sister, please start to cover your hair. By the way, if anyone knows where this accent is from, let us know. We can't peg
It
this
sounds
one.
somewhere between Slavic and North European.
Sounds somewhere not American.
Yeah.
Salam alaikum, good morning. We need to talk. I get comments like this about 50 to 100 every single day.
She said she gets 50 to 100 comments a day telling her what to wear. They're telling her that she needs to cover her hair. 50 to 100 a day. That's a lot of people dedicating a lot of time to telling her what to wear.
Okay, here's a wild guess. She could be Dutch.
You're still on that? I moved on like 10 years ago.
She could be Danish.
Oh, okay.
I think she's Dutch.
Is anyone? Are people giving suggestions in the chat?
I don't know.
Okay.
Swedish cheekbones, Swedish, Dutch. I don't know. We'll find out.
We'll see.
What's
No,
her
we won't.
Thousands of men
Thousands of men.
telling me to cover my hair.
Shocker. Shocker. I could never
Please
predict that.
stop. You all say that it's commanded by God, but how certain are you?
How certain are you? This lady, I have no idea who she is. She has no clue how much she's triggering them right now, right? She's thinking as an individual, hey guys, I do not know. I want to research this for myself to decide what I'm going to wear. I'm not just going to do what everyone in the comments section is telling me to do. So I get to make decisions, and I'm casting doubt right now. How certain are you that these verses in the Quran, I think there are like 2 of them, how certain are you that these are commanding you to dress in a certain way? How certain are you? What is she doing? She's casting doubt upon the idea that women have to wear hijabs. Is that going to go over well in the Muslim community where they're watching and they know that she has other other women who watch her channel, Muslim women who watch her channel. She's already put herself out there. Hey, I'm a new revert. Everyone look at me. I'm a new revert. And so everyone, yay. And all the Muslim women of the world, yay. Oh, we're going to follow this woman's journey. This woman's going, hey, are we even sure we're supposed to be wearing this hijab here? I don't think so. I haven't seen it yet. I'm not sure about that. So I'm just gonna leave my lovely blonde locks flowing in everyone's faces. That going to go over well, AP?
Nope. It's going to be very, very stupid and very terrible.
That is correct.
And it's like, it is kind of an equivalent to, I don't know, somebody supposedly converting to Christianity. The issue is that Christianity doesn't have any such overt, strict things that you have.
Yeah, you have passages like dress modestly and things like that. But it's not like,
But if you suddenly converted to Christianity and then a very simple, basic doctrine you completely disregarded and started arguing, well, are you guys even sure that it is actually accurate? Like something that was resolved like
some new person. Some new person comes along. Are you guys sure? Is the entire Ummah sure about this? Because I haven't seen it, and I just started studying. I just converted. And I'm just learning. Are you guys sure you know what you're talking about? Because I don't know about this. And I decide. This is way too individualistic. And this is horrifying to lots of men in the community. Because, again, people are watching her. And they're worried about her influencing other reverts, other Muslim girls. They're worried about her casting doubt and thinking that she gets to decide for herself what Islam teaches. So I don't think this is going to go the way she thought it was going to go when she reverted. But let's let her continue here.
Because I've done my research. I know the verses by heart.
Whoa! Gosh, that's more extreme. So she's not saying, hey, I'm still learning and I'm going to wait until I figured it out. I've already determined. I've studied for... This is worse. I've studied this for myself. I'm the expert on this. You're not. And I'm telling you, these verses do not tell me that I need to cover myself. Wow. That's pretty hardcore. I'm liking this chick.
Chapter 24, verse 31. Chapter 33, verse 59. Are you so certain that it's commanded in the Quran? Then convince me.
Yes.
Because I've done my research and it comes down to one single word. Chapter 24, verse 31, that says, use a kimar to cover the chest.
She will say, let me guess, she will say
that...
that...
could mean head cover, but also cover. But if I read it...
What were you going to predict, AP?
I was going to say that she'll say it could be a head cover, but also just a regular cover to put on your bosom.
Because it says, it gets translated like cover your ornaments or something like that. What does that mean? What does your ornaments mean? Oh, it means your hair, and you'll have people who will interpret it like that. But I mean, totally, and say, oh no, this means your hands, and then others feel that even means your eyes. That's why you have to completely cover up and so on. But she's right in that it is way more vague. That verse is way more vague than lots of Muslims realize. But
I guess right. She's Dutch. I found it out. She's Dutch. I was obsessed with this. I was just looking for information. I was going through all her TikToks to see if she said it anywhere. And somebody asked somewhere and said, "What is your mother language?" And she said Dutch. Good.
So she's from Dutchland.
I'm going to give
Dutchland, über alles.
Going to give myself a trophy for this.
Yeah. Hey, I have to say, the same verse that she's talking about right now does tell women to lower their gaze. She's looking right at me with those enticing eyes and her flowing blonde locks.
And the kimar could mean head cover, but also cover. But if I read it, use kimar to cover chest, the intention is to cover the chest.
It says ornaments.
With the kimar. How many times?
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, when the Quran says you gotta put this covering over your ornaments, you could interpret that as zabubas, right?
Yes,
as zabubas. That's what she's saying. But I'm telling you, she does not realize what she just did. She's announcing to Muslim women of the world, you don't actually have to wear any sort of head covering. This is great. So So you shouldn't even complain if it's banned because it's not an actual part of your religion. It's just a myth spread by dudes. This is interesting. So anyway, that's the reasoning of people who are going to be really, really upset about her.
This is an incredibly, for those who don't understand, this is an incredibly problematic, incredibly bad thing in Islam. What she's doing right now, this is considered heresy and kufr, disbelief, blasphemy on her part, because she is denying that something that has been well established as obligatory is actually not obligatory. She's contesting it. Plus, on top of doing that, she is publicizing this idea and is preaching it to thousands, and thereby corrupting and thereby changing the Islamic morality and Islamic community, and influencing others and spreading corruption in the land. Basically,
that's what they would view that as.
This would be severely punishable under Islamic law.
Yeah, and she doesn't realize they will be enraged about this because this is the age of the internet. They will look at her as spreading corruption in Muslim lands.
Yeah,
she's spreading, even though she's wherever she is. She's spreading corruption in Muslim lands. This lady's not. I mean, I seriously hope she realizes what she's dealing with and she takes precautions. But you do have people who would want to harm her over this. But at the very least, they're going to harass her a lot, because they can't let any random new revert come along and redefine what Islam is for the rest of the world. They're not gonna put up with that. Let me go ahead and read these verses, and then we'll let her finish up. So I'll read two versions. I'll read the Shakir version, and then we'll read the Hilali Khan, which is a Salafi version, and where they actually add commentary. They add their own commentary. So the Shakir. So this is Surah 24, verse 31. As a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and read 33:59, which is the other relevant verse here as well. And say to the believing women, so that's her, that they cast down their looks and guard their private parts and do not display their ornaments. It says don't display their ornaments. What are the ornaments? Well, that's kind of up for debate. Except what appears thereof, and let them wear their head coverings over their bosoms. So it says head coverings, but over their bosoms, and not display their ornaments except to their husbands or their fathers, or the fathers of their husbands or their sons, or the sons of their husbands or their brothers sons, or their sisters' sons, or their women, or those whom their right hands possess, or the male servants having need of women, or their children. So it gives us a long list of people that they're allowed to show their ornaments to. Right? They're allowed to show their ornaments to. Now, Hilali Khan. And tell the believing women to lower their gaze from looking at forbidden things and protect their private parts from illegal sexual acts, and not to show off their adornment except only that which is apparent, like palms of hands or one eye or both eyes for necessity to see the way, or outer dress like veil, gloves, head cover, apron, etc., and to draw their veils over their ornaments, i.e. their bodies, faces, neck, and bosom. So they're interpreting this as your face, your neck, all of that has to be covered. So, and I'm looking at the translations here. Hilali Khan and Shakir both translate this as head cover. Yusuf Ali translates it as veil, draw your veils over your bosoms. Pickthall translates it as draw your veils over your bosom. So she's interpreting this as I just have to keep my chest covered and I'm good. I do not have to wear something over my head. Now we'll let her finish up here.
How many times is hair or head mentioned to be covered? 0 times.
Burn.
Convince me otherwise. I believe it doesn't come from the Quran, but from the Hadiths.
Yes.
But I haven't even finished reading the Quran.
So leave me
let
alone.
alone the Hadiths.
So, my goodness.
Wait,
did you hear what you just said? I'm only following it once I've determined for myself that is what I'm supposed to do. I'm still reading the Quran. The Quran does not convince me of what you guys are saying, so I'm not doing it. I think it comes from the Hadiths, but I haven't even gotten there yet. Now I'm going to study that on my own. And then I'm going to decide what I'm going to do. I decide. Me. I decide what Islam teaches on these issues.
Didn't she just say that she did all the research and already came to the conclusion, and that she doesn't agree that it is obligatory? And then later she concluded that she still hasn't done the whole reading. And once she concludes,
she's read enough of the Quran to know that there are these 2 Quran verses, and she's not finished reading the Quran. She's still reading the Quran, but she's carefully investigated these 2 verses, and now she is qualified to educate the entire Muslim Ummah. Here's the problem, lady. I just want, you know what? I want whatever's best for you in life. I hope that things turn out well for you, but you are only able to get away with that because you are living in a non-Muslim country. That is the only reason you are at all remotely able to sit there and, well, I decide what I'm going to believe, and this is my personal belief about what I'm supposed to do as a Muslim, and you other Muslims can't make me obey you. You can only say that. But I mean, just look at Iran when women start saying, no, we don't have to follow what. And these some of these women aren't even Muslims. Like, why are we going to wear these head covers? We're not Muslims. What happens to them? Really, really bad stuff. Yes, in a Muslim country, you would be charged with something like spreading corruption in the land. So you're one of these people, hey, let's all convert to Islam, and you think that you're going to be able to think for yourself and decide what you're allowed to do and not do. That you decide what is haram and halal. And you think that's going to go over well when Muslims show up and say, this is what you need to wear. And I don't have to obey you. Yeah, let me know how well that works out for you in the future.
It is very clear in the Hadith, once you go into the authentic Hadith, the Islamically authentic Hadith, the Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, that women are required to wear the hijab, and that they're supposed to cover themselves so much so that they cover their heads. And it is also explained in the Hadith that the women of the time, the Sahaba, the women of Muhammad's time, they used to cover their faces. And there is, of course, dispute over whether covering your face is absolutely obligatory or whether it is just sunnah, whether it is it is an additional thing that you can do. But there are numerous hadiths. There are some, for example, that say, Aisha used to say, this is Sahih Bukhari 4759, when the verse, and they should draw their veils over their necks and bosoms, was revealed, the ladies cut their waist sheets at the edges and covered their heads and faces with those cut pieces of cloth. Then there are other hadith which say that after the hijab verse was revealed, the women would come to the prayer, and going home, nobody would recognize them. And then there is another hadith which says that that Omar kept harassing the wives of Muhammad by saying, whenever they went to the toilet, because it was distant, he would say, I recognize you, I can see you. And he would go to Muhammad and say, hey, why don't you tell your wives to cover up? So eventually Muhammad was like, wait a minute, I'm receiving a revelation right now. Allah's talking to me right now. So Allah sent down a revelation saying that all the women should be covered up. And then he was like, well, yeah, they should be covered up. Mm-hmm. They should be covered up, and they can go outside by themselves to go to the bathroom if they have to. Mm-hmm. Upon which the wives would then go to the bathroom and nobody would be able to recognize them. So, and if you just dress modestly like this woman here, do we recognize her or not? We obviously recognize her. So they were in a state where they were unrecognizable, which means they were actually covered, probably fully.
Mm-hmm. And the other relevant Quran verse, because she cited one, but 33:59, like the Yusuf Ali version here. O Prophet, tell thy wives and daughters and the believing women that they should cast their outer garments over their persons when abroad. That is most convenient, that they should be known as such and not molested. And Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful. So the reasoning here, pay attention to the reasoning. You cover yourself to avoid being molested. Well, what's the implication? That if you avoid covering yourself, what do you want? Kind of explains a lot about what happens in Europe right now, doesn't it?
Yes. Yes.
All right. We'll take a couple super chats, and then we're going to check out another blonde revert who's wondering why everyone is harassing her. Weird. You guys should respond to Fareed's proofs of prophethood. They're garbage, but they're from an actual classical scholarly work, which is interesting. We could do that. I wouldn't mind going if Fareed says he's got some proofs. We love going through the proofs.
To those. They were so ridiculous.
I think we went through one or two of them at some point.
Yeah, it's very low hanging fruit. We could go after those, and it's very easy. So, but I feel bad about it. But then that's Islamic standard. So
yeah, it's like you're beating a baby seal or something.
Yeah.
David, have you checked out TBN's new special called "Seeking Allah, Finding Jesus"? No, not familiar with that. Is that about Nabil, or they just stole his title?
Probably stole his title.
Here you go. AP, what are your objections towards Christianity? Because I'm a loser. That's my objection.
How about you come here and ask me that in person?
Yeah, ask him to his face. See what happens to you.
No idea why I'm escalating here. But
it's what we do. You already said it. We escalate. You already said early. You already announced earlier on, just in response to a copyright issue, that we escalate. It's what we do.
That's what we do. It's an issue that I would talk about separately. I would always thought I would make a video on that at some point. Never did, but maybe I will one day.
That'd be a good show. AP's dumb objections to Christianity, and we'll just go through those and say how dumb they are.
Yes.
That's a good idea. Love both of you, and happy Orthodox Easter from Macedonia. We love you. Yes, Macedonians love T. Wood and AP.
Nice. Greetings to Macedonia. I was there once.
Yeah. You were there?
Yeah.
Jack says, thanks, D. Wood and AP. Always so much fun. Would love to see you guys do a collab with a Nigerian perspective with Frank. Would be epic. Duo goat scream, please. We got a request, AP.
Oh, no, my goat. I forgot my goat.
You didn't bring your goat?
No. I actually, the day I bought it, I gave it to my little son to let him play with it, and he found it hilarious.
It is hilarious. Well, we can see one of us is always ready with the goat, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll do an extra one just so we can pretend, and maybe we'll do some creative editing to make it look like AP was ready with his. Here's the other one. Here we go. No, but we get a lot of requests about Nigerian perspective. So
yeah, we do.
I actually agree. We should get him on there. We should get him on with us.
We shall.
Mm-hmm. Please, AP, please release the track, please.
I have it. I think I have it as an unlisted video at somewhere saved, but I don't even have a whole track.
Didn't Sal do a remix that's available on his channel?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
I need to take.
Yes, you could get the remix. You could get the remix there, guys.
Yes, you could.
Stephen Meyer was on. Oh, you found it.
My wife just brought it too.
Oh, nice. Ready?
Yeah.
Go. Powerful.
Nice.
Powerful. We should actually have a show called the Screaming Goats Show. Right? Who wouldn't click on a show called the Screaming Goats Show?
That would be amazing.
That would. Hey guys, little side note. I don't know if anyone, well, I'm sure some of you have seen, we always get requests because we do live streams that are, 3 hours, 4 hours, stuff like that. And some people aren't going to click on a 4-hour video. I know, because I'm one of them. If I see it, I really, really, really have to be interested in a topic to click on something that's 4 hours. So we have gotten requests for a long time. Hey, can you just post shorter stuff? And I usually get annoyed because if you don't want to watch a 4-hour video, don't watch it. There's like YouTube is filled with stuff. Go watch something else. We have tons of videos. We have tons of short videos. So why are you complaining that some people like to watch 4-hour live streams and hang out and stuff like that?
Yes.
So I usually get annoyed, but at the same time, we do make points in our live streams that would make good shorter clips, shorter videos. So anyway, I started a channel titled Christian and Atheist React, and I started posting some of the shorter clips from our shows. So go ahead and check that out. But if you ever want shorter clips of what we're saying, let us know there.
Close.
Stephen Meyer was on Piers Morgan. I'm sure you know this already. Yeah, I haven't watched it. We could discuss it. Well, I'll check it out. I'll see. Because I don't know if Piers Morgan's going to be like, so let's talk about this. I'm going to lead you down a rabbit trail for 20 minutes of this interview. I don't know if he's going to be like that or if he's actually, but I mean, Stephen Meyer's just like the nicest guy in the world. So Piers probably lets him speak, and they're probably not talking over each other. Anyway, I'll check it out. If it's cool, then we'll cover it in a live stream. We'll go through it.
I would kind of prefer if Michael Myers was on Piers Morgan.
Bing, 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 bing. Coolest theme song of all time. I wish I had that.
Yeah.
I want to buy the rights to that just so I can have that as my intro music. I would have that as my intro music. People complain that I don't have cool intro music like AP. I would totally use the Michael Myers thing. It's awesome. This half brain should read Sahih al-Bukhari 304. Mm-hmm. Look up 304 real quick, AP.
Bukhari.
Mr. Bukhari.
I already read this. It says
Mr. Bukhari.
It is the one that says women go to hell. Women go to hell.
You see, this is the power of Allah.
Prophet Muhammad went to the women and said, "I have been shown hell, and I saw that the majority." Anyway, go ahead. What?
Yeah, what's funny is, so this lady does not think. She doesn't think.
She does not think
she has to obey her Muslim leaders and so on. But she doesn't realize what she just got into. Because if she gets around, I get to decide what I do for myself. Lady, you have half the intellect of a man, according to Muhammad. You think you should be making these decisions? What is Muhammad? Even in the Hadith we read about Muhammad saying that you have to obey your ruler, even if he's an Ethiopian and so on. He's giving the most. You guess what? Obedience is essential. You have to obey your leaders. Do it.
I'm actually curious, like somebody like that who doesn't. She doesn't seem like a very subservient, mindless, completely stupid person, which is just my assumption at this point. But if you brought to her attention, for example, a hadith like that, which is widely
she'd reject it.
Authentic, the one that says that women are dumb, basically.
Mm-hmm.
What would you think about this, dear Melanie? What would you think about this? I don't know.
Her name's Melanie?
I don't know if you would rationalize it. Yeah, it's Melanie. Yeah.
Oh, powerful
stuff.
Just started working at KFC, and at least 50 times a day, the manager tells me I need to fry the chicken, but how certain is he? Imagine you get a job at KFC. Fry the chicken. Well, how certain are you that I have to fry the chicken? I decide for myself. I've researched this for myself, and there are people who say you don't fry the chicken. So, what are you going to do? I live in a free country for the next 2 years.
Yes. Alhamdulillah.
She didn't read the parts about not talking back to men. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Keep in mind the goal in the Ummah right now is to get her married off as quickly as possible, get her to have a couple of kids so that she can't leave. She can't leave once she finds out more about Islam.
She should probably talk about all the marriage proposals she has been receiving, because it is. We know for a fact it is happening
daily.
In the back, she's receiving all kinds of "please marry me."
If she gets 50 to 100, if she gets 50 to 100 messages saying, "Hey, cover your hair," she probably gets 500 a day. You marry me. You come to my country. You'll be treated like a princess.
I have many money, and I will have many camel, and I will give you camel.
And it's a huge status symbol. European blonde revert. You're like you're a boss. You're a boss. You're a boss in Islam. You get that?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. If it was permissible, it's almost like everyone is like, "Hey, can I please also try out your wife?" That's how everyone would view it, the situation. And as Ali Dawa said, Muslim brothers, they say they would die for their brothers, would take a bullet for their brothers, but won't share their wives with their brothers.
Yeah. Shame on them. Shame on them.
Disgusting.
Dutch Bukharina just reverted and is already a mufti. That is funny. I mean, keep in mind, you know, I don't want this woman. I mean, it just sucks because she doesn't know what she's gotten into, and it's going to lead to trouble for her. But it is at the same time funny. It's like hilarious. So you can't tell me what to do, Muslims. That's awesome. I love that. We need to see more of that. You definitely need to see more of that. Oh, hey, check this out, AP.
Yes.
Destiny is debating Suleiman Ahmed on Israel, Palestine, and Islam on Fresh and Fit right now. You guys should cover
Right
it in a future
now?
video. Yeah, that's going on right now,
Oh.
dude. You might want to cover that tomorrow.
That's funny. Yeah,
That's huge. You might want to jump on that.
That sounds like it's going to be a massacre. Because Sulaiman Ahmed is a complete imbecile.
Yeah.
But yes, sure, we can do that.
Yep. Quran 533. Yeah, that's the one that comes right after 532. 533. That's the penalty for making mischief in the land is, and it gives a variety of punishments: crucifixion, dismemberment, murder, or exile or imprisonment, depending on the translation. But yeah, lots of punishments for making mischief in the land, which is exactly mischief or corruption, which is exactly what they would accuse her of. These reverts may like the complaint, but here on the best site on the web, you will never have to worry about that. Goat Hub, ladies and gentlemen. Goat Hub.
I like the other profile picture better.
Ferris asks why these women need to jump on this stuff. Yeah, guys. I mean, it's not out of the blue. It's not out of the blue. They are programmed for decades that Islam is great and wonderful and peaceful and tolerant, and it's the greatest thing in the world. And the only people who would ever object to anything in Islam are evil, despicable, racist liars. And so, whose side do you want to be on in all that? Be on in all of this. And so, guys, you kind of brought this on yourselves. Your politicians, your journalists, your educators, your entertainers. This is what they did to you. And it's not going to be good. You shall recognize Allah fans. Now we have Allah fans. Allah fans says you shall recognize Allah by his sneaky shin. Yes, you shall. All right. So we got some more. We got some more super chats. We're going to hold off on those because we've got multiple videos to cover. Hey, Pete.
Yes.
We've already seen a video from a blonde revert being confused as to why people are telling her what to do.
Yes.
Here we have another video of another blonde revert to Islam who's really confused about why she has to actually follow rules. At first, you can convert and you get all kinds of wonderful attention and everyone's praising you and talking about how wonderful you are and what a great choice you've made. And then they start telling you what to do. And apparently she doesn't like being told what to do. And I wonder how she's going to get out of this. But let's go ahead and check this out.
Let's find it.
Yeah, learning about Islam, it's easy and it's
Wait.
What?
I know this girl.
No, you don't.
I thought this is. I think. I don't know if this is the one, but there was one who in the past was like, please stop sending me all kinds of messages saying, marry me, I love you, and things like that. I don't know if that's her. Maybe that's a different one. I don't know. They all look the same. White people. Anyway,
notice the pressure. Well, if you don't want us constantly harassing you for marriage and relationships and hookups, then you have to cover yourself. It's the only way. It's the only way. But it's just funny what she just said there. Learning Islam is so fun. But then, here we go. Super smart people, ladies and gentlemen, super smart people.
Yeah, learning about Islam, it's easy and it's fun.
Learning about Islam is easy and it's fun. You got this book, which is a bunch of Arabic gibberish, and you learn that, and then you find out it's just, there are all these massive multi-volume collections of stuff that you need to even understand what it's saying. It's so easy and fun. What do you actually mean right here, lady? You mean TikTok Islam is easy and fun? That's not, I don't know if she hasn't understood what she's gotten into. Shocker, shocker, shocker.
Then once you become Muslim, suddenly you have everyone on your head telling you everything that you're doing wrong and not encouraging you.
They're not encouraging you when they see you as a new Muslim influencer parading around the internet, showing off your hair, showing that you don't have to follow the rules of Islam and setting an example for young Muslim women. They start telling you what to do. Shocker. And look at what she has posted there. People have pushed me so far from Allah and Islam. They're pushing her away.
Ooh.
By doing what? By saying, hey, you're a Muslim now, follow the rules? Okay, let me get this straight. You knew so little about what you were signing on for that you're surprised that they're telling you that's the shocking part. Because that would kind of be the first impression I would get from Islam. I mean, if you heard it all about the, protests in Iran, or if you've heard it all about things in Saudi Arabia, if you've heard any of this, it seems like something you would pick up. And she's like genuinely confused. I'm so confused. I thought this was just going to be fun. It's going to be this fun thing, and I'm going to get tons of attention. And now people are telling me what to do. I don't know. It's so confusing. All right.
Jeez, I'm looking at her TikTok, her Instagram right now. She really needs to get understand the culture that she's dealing with. Her last video is one where she's talking about how she doesn't feel like a Muslim anymore, but she's just trying to connect with it again, trying to reconnect. But the thing is also, in the video, she sits there wearing her pajamas and wet hair dangling down, chest kind of revealed. Have some cultural awareness. This is nothing at all, but in Muslim cultures, as a woman, like they tell you to cover up.
Yeah.
And this is certainly not how to appear.
Yeah, and guys, so this is, on the one hand, it's hilarious, right? On the one hand, it's hilarious. You have Western women from Western countries saying, oh, it's cool and fun. This is cool and fun to convert to Islam. And I get to dress up as a Muslim now, and I get to be a Muslim, and I get to go around saying I'm a Muslim, and I'm going to read the Quran, and I'm going to get so much attention. And so it's legitimately funny seeing people tick off a bunch of people in the Ummah saying, I don't have to follow your rules. I'll do what I want. I decide for myself what Islam is. That's funny. At the same time, I mean, this woman converted to Islam. Whether she stays or leaves, they're going to be harassing her for a long, unless she decides to get away from that, change her appearance so they can't recognize it. They're going to be harassing her every chance they get, no matter what she does now. If she remains a Muslim and continues acting like she is right now, they're going to harass her endlessly. Again, they're not just she's thinking of this is my life. I get to do what I want. It's my relationship with Allah. This is me, right? They're looking at her. No, same thing that Ali Dawah would say when he's talking about executing apostates. The rights of the community, they're more important than your rights as an individual, right? So she's thinking of this from one perspective. They're thinking, we cannot allow this to spread. If we just let every new TikTok revert do whatever she wants and interpret Islam however she wants, this will destroy us. And therefore, we have to get her under control. And they're going to find a way to get her under control. That's if she remains a Muslim. If she says, I don't believe anymore, then she gets harassed as an apostate.
This is the stupid aspect of it. So there is a lot of... digging to find and understand why these people are get this idiotic idea of converting to Islam. But I would say that one of the reasons is probably that, especially in Western nations, right, people like her probably think that that Islam is this rebellious, this anti, counterculture thing, and if you go to it, then you will be relieved from something that pressures you here in this culture, and you go into this ultimate pressure culture. Actually, you go into the ultimate oppressive culture by taking this step and converting to Islam. So You want to be free, you want to make your own decision, and you want to convert to Islam, but then suddenly you find yourself in a religion where you are not supposed to make your own decisions. You're not supposed to be free. You're not supposed to take initiative. You're not supposed to do any of these things. You're supposed to simply follow the rules and obey whatever has been
Mindless
decided.
obedience. Mindless obedience is the criterion in Islam.
Mindless obedience, especially as a woman. Just think about it. You see men who convert to Islam, they are not pressured every day and every night to change their appearance, to do this and to do that. You could just say, "Oh, I converted to Islam, and I like this religion." Yeah, and there is nothing visible about you that people will come into the comment section and pressure you on and say, "Oh, why don't you cover up? Why don't you do this? Why don't you go pray?" You don't even have to show anybody that you pray or don't pray. But if you're a woman, they will bother you and bug you day and night, all the time, and this is what you have to deal with from then on. And since it is a religion that is the ultimately controlling religion when it comes to
I
women.
thought you were going to say the ultimately based religion.
No, controlling religion when it comes to women. This is the deal. So I don't know. Maybe you should think twice about converting, or maybe you should transition and become a man after you convert.
Yeah, maybe you should be aware. Yeah, or transition to being a man. Yes, AP is right. But I mean, think about, guys. This is a very serious issue, right? Like, we talk about her setting an example for others. AP, what might happen? What might happen if, so whatever country she's in, someone who's from Pakistan, a Pakistani family, moves to the UK, let's say, watches her videos, and the 15-year-old daughter decides, "Ooh, I want to be like Abby. I don't have to listen to people wearing a head covering," and it's from a Pakistani Muslim family. And the teenage daughter decides she doesn't have to follow the rules like Abby.
It's of course it depends on case to case basis, but it's very likely that this daughter would be
in trouble,
punished, would be probably told she has to stay at home until she obeys, and could get beaten, could get into
any number of punishments.
And it could even go as far as just I don't know, if it's a very, very religious and sick family, it could go into different circles of even further losing control into making her obey or even killing.
And guys, think about how serious this is, because I said that the criterion, I was not exaggerating when I said that the criterion in Islam is mindless obedience to what you're told. This is the Hilleli Khan translation of Surah 4, verse 65 of the Quran. This is the Quran. "But know, by your Lord, they can have no faith until they make you, Muhammad, judge in all disputes between them, and find in themselves no resistance against your decisions, and accept them with full submission." Islam is about submission to Allah, but it doesn't just tell you that you submit to Allah however you want or however you feel like. It tells you how you submit to Allah. You submit to Allah by mindlessly accepting everything Muhammad says. Find in themselves no resistance against your decisions. If Muhammad says it's okay to bang a little girl, you can have no resistance at all in yourself against that decision. If Muhammad says you have to cover up, you can have no resistance against yourself, or you're not a real Muslim. And so she thinks that, hey, I just decide this for myself, and I decide. He says, no, you are supposed to mindlessly obey what you're told. And so, interesting new version of Islam here, but let's let her continue.
With the small steps that you may be taking. Because the truth of the matter is that nobody can see what's inside your heart except for God. But they will see your nails, they will see your eyelash extensions, they will see your brows, they will see your makeup.
Yeah, because you're showing them to everybody.
And they will label you based on that.
Yeah, because the religion teaches them to do that.
So
the religion that you signed on for, that you entered into when you didn't have to, That's what their religion teaches them to do. Yes, genius insights here, lady.
Yeah. That's how I've been feeling lately, and that's why I've kind of been out of social media, because I needed to reconnect without anybody on my head. And
You're not reconnecting without anybody on you. It's not going to change.
I needed to get back to my journey, and not only
My journey.
doing whatever other people tell me to do, or following whatever rule that other people are telling me that I should follow. I'm researching for myself. I'm following God for myself by.
You know this, you see this trend, by the way? It was the same thing with the other. This is for myself. I study by myself. I decide what I do for myself. I'm studying this on my own. This is about me. And that's just antithetical to Islam, lady. That's not what you signed on for.
Privilege. It's such Western privilege. It's people who grew up in Muslim cultures don't have this luxury. Mm-hmm. So maybe think about that aspect, right? You have this luxury, this freedom to sit here and think, oh yeah, I'm going to look into this, and I want to figure this out for myself, and I'm going to make progress, and it's going to be slow because I want to take it all in. You great, good for you. Very, very good for you. But people in Muslim cultures don't have that luxury.
Mm-mm. No.
Think about it.
And again, this woman is only getting away with this because she's in a non-Muslim country. She signs on to join a religion, and she can only act like this if her religion is not dominant in the country she lives in. Yes. It's the only way. It's the only way. She would not be allowed to be doing these things or saying these things in a Muslim country. And she signed on for a religion that calls for Islam dominating the world, which would destroy every bit of individuality that she is clinging to right now.
Yes. Islam is the opposite of this.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Abby, Islam is the opposite of what you believe.
Yes.
And honestly, I'm not even sure if I'm going to continue posting about Islam on here, because the thing is, as soon as you start posting about Islam or the Quran on social media, you are a target for judgment.
Dude, look at this. Let me back this up. Let her finish this. Because what was she going to say? As soon as you start posting about Islam online, you are becoming a target. And it's like, a target from what? What? Islamophobes? Bigots? Racists? No, Muslims. That's very interesting. She's more worried. She's being harassed by Muslims to where she's not even thinking about Islamophobes. She's not even thinking about Islamophobes. It's Muslims harassing her. Interesting. Let's go.
You are a target for judgment. You are a target for being picked apart for any small thing that you may be doing wrong.
Yes, you are. You signed up for it. It's this weird situation where part of me says you got what you deserved. If you fell for that, if you fell for some Dawa TikTok video and you converted and started posting your journey and not realizing what you're getting into, there's part of me that says you get what you asked for. You get what you asked for. You asked for it, and now you're getting it. And there's another part of me that says, no, you do have lots of people who just have been manipulated for years, right? She didn't come to this conclusion on her own. She's been programmed by politicians and journalists and so on for years to think that Islam is this great thing, and you join it and it's great and it's wonderful and it's fun and you're cool and you get lots of attention and you get respected. And so join it. And then you join it and whoa, this is not what I thought it was going to be. Yeah, get used to that. What you're told about Islam on TikTok and from politicians and from journalists has next to nothing to do with what Islam actually is. So this lady has to learn the hard way.
It's so funny that somebody who converts to Islam goes online and starts preaching and talking about Islam. Somebody who is born a Muslim doesn't just not properly observe Islam and then go online and talk about Islam and preach Islam. That's not what happens. In a regular Muslim culture, somebody who looks like her and who is uncovered or naked wouldn't go online and preach about Islam. This stuff like this would be done by a woman who wears a hijab or a niqab or whatever it is. I just found out apparently that she's in Dubai. I don't know how that happens, but
Whoa.
she actually moved to Dubai at some point. I don't know
Oh,
exactly
not
what.
good, not good. She's there for her husband. She's there for her husband. So bye individuality. That is not going to last.
And Dubai is such an illusion because it's like it underwent an extremely rapid change in culture, and you could say, "Oh, it's the Arab world, it's Muslim world, so probably a good example for Islam." It's not at all. It's like it has become very heavily culturally westernized in different ways. People are not observing Islam. Lots of foreigners are living there. Many regions, many areas of it are concentrated of just non-Muslims and non-Arab people. So many neighborhoods they don't even feel like it's an Arab country or a Muslim country. Nothing is really enforced. You don't really have much contact with Muslim people. It's kind of like, living like saying, "Oh, I am actually I actually live in a Muslim country. I actually live in a Muslim culture," and then you go to Dubai and you're surrounded by a bunch of Western people. So,
Yeah, but the Muslim that she marries there will have, because I've heard this story over and over again. The Muslim that she marries will treat her like a princess.
could be.
And
yeah.
then once she gets married, we'll still treat her like a princess, but there will be increased pressures on her. And hey, it's for my family. Come on, my family really wants you to start dressing this way and so on. And then there will be, hey, let's have some kids. Let's have some kids. And then she's going to find out, by the time she finds out that her individuality has been completely stripped away, it's too hard to get out at that point. It's too hard to get out.
Yep, that's true. That's what
Because
they
it would
do.
be completely life destroying to change. So that's what they do.
That's what they do.
Welcome to Islam, Abby.
Welcome to Islam.
Couple super chats. AP, the question the traveling clat asked you about faith made me sad. I could see the torment on your face. Your dumb Turkish face. I pray for you all the time. Jesus loves you no matter what. Peace be with you. The traveling clat asked you a question about faith, and it tormented you?
Thank you. I see. Oh yeah, he did. I think somebody asked me about religion, about where I stand, and then we talked a little bit about it.
Side note. If the traveling clat is actually what is he? What is his faith? Is like Jewish, Christian? What?
I think he's Jewish.
Okay.
And he actually does believe. So he's Jewish. He's not an atheist.
Mm-hmm.
However, when I was asked, I don't know. I kind of talked about how, I don't know. Yes, I don't know what to say, but I appreciate it. Appreciate it, Saint Paul. Thank you, Saint Paul. It's good to see you. It's good to see that you are here, right here in the super chat. I read some of your stuff. I like it. It's good to see you.
AP meets Saint Paul. Bella says, an AP unprotected by Christ mocks Satan. He's doomed.
Yep.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. You might think it. AP's making fun of Satan, and therefore he's going to get destroyed because he has no protection. But if you're Satan, do you really want to reveal yourself to an atheist?
Yes.
Do you really want to reveal your existence to a donkey-brained atheist, or just keep him being a donkey-brained atheist? Of course not.
That's the issue. Yeah.
Goat Hub says this stream isn't the only place you can hear a goat scream. Discount code Louder with Goats. One of the most popular sites as the most popular website in Pakistan. Goat Hub.
Alhamdulillah.
Tracy says it doesn't matter if this woman will cover or not, because in Bukhari Volume 2, Book 24, she most likely will be going to hell. Yeah, she's in trouble.
That's base.
Stefan says, let's see.
You're in trouble.
Baluk Al-Maram, let's see. Does it mean you can say all types of perverted stuff if you feel no shame about it? Explains why semen hadiths exist.
I don't think that's what that means if you are referring to the narration that I have in mind. Bulugh al-Maram. is, wait a minute, 16, book 16, Hadith 89. 89. Let me check
Got
this
that?
out right now. I think I got it. Give me 1 second. I got it. Okay, book 16, Hadith 89. Ibn Mas'ud narrated that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, one of the things people have learned from the words of the earliest prophecies is, if you don't feel any shame, do whatever you like. Related by Al-Bukhari. Yeah, that's not what that means. It is generally understood that what it means is that what it means is, if you speak, you should have some shame and shouldn't just say whatever comes to your mind. If you don't have shame, just say whatever you want. So it's kind of rhetorical. It's not what it means is not actually literally. If you don't feel shame, just say it. Just say whatever you want. I think it's what it actually means is it's kind of a rhetorical thing, you know.
Interesting.
Like don't say stuff. Have shame.
Future of Islam, according to Iranian Attitude 2020 survey, Shiite 32.2% plus Sunni 5% plus Sufi 3.2% equals 40.4%. Yes, according to that survey, if that is correct, and it can be skewed because that's an online survey, so it doesn't take into account villages. If a village doesn't have internet access or something like that, it doesn't take into account everyone. But based on the survey that was done, Iran is a Muslim minority country at this point. Most people do not believe in Islam of any variety anymore. But we have it pointed out here. If you add it all up, it's 40.4%. Remove the period and the percentage sign, and you get error 404 not found. Yes, Islam, error 404 not found in Iran anymore. Mm-hmm.
Beast. Oh, also, by the way, about that saying, if you don't feel shame, do whatever you like. I think it's not even, so it comes from, it's an actual Arab phrase that predates Islam, and it's just adopted into Islamic tradition. Just saying, have some shame. Yeah.
D says it would be funny if the converted campus kids made a woke version of Islam and it spread. It would be funny if the converted campus kids made a woke version of Islam and it spread. This is actually one of the topics we wanted to get into, AP.
It's also called the Wislam.
Did you see that all these kids, college kids now at the pro-Palestine protests are... Not all of them, but a bunch of them are now lining up with Muslims for the Muslim prayers and praying the Muslim prayers to show solidarity.
I saw a bunch of women, a bunch of girls prostrating on the ground with their backs.
Yeah, we're going to look at that.
Open,
we're going to look at that.
Open, displaying themselves. And if they did this in a in a mosque or in a Muslim environment.
Yeah, just imagine that. They're going in with their various body parts exposed. They sound like some of the blonde reverts we've been watching videos from, thinking they can live exactly however they want. At least these ladies would have a defense because, they're brand new and they're on the campus and they're free Palestine, free Palestine. Hey, you want to pray for us? Yeah, that'll be cool. Not realizing what they just signed up for. But here's some footage of what's going on at these protests.
Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Hey, P, when you hear that, does it ever make you wish, oh gosh, I want to go back?
Yeah.
I miss that. Do that?
I just so badly want to go back into that culture. I want to put my head on the ground and I want to blow up. That guy is
bang your head.
Yeah, he sounds quite professional. It sounds like somebody who is religious or who does.
Yeah, they're bringing in some pros. They're bringing in some pros to help win the converts.
Yeah, this doesn't sound like amateur stuff.
No, this ain't amateur hour.
Yeah.
This is all part of a plan. So you either have the ones who join in the prayers, or you have the ones who sort of sit around respectfully, honoring the prayers.
اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب.
I mean, guys, think about this. You have hundreds and hundreds of people, if not thousands, gather around for protest, and then the Dawa guys use that. Hey, let's get everyone around respectfully listening to the message of the Prophet. Powerful.
But I don't understand, because that woman, she was saying that at these protests, many, if not most, of the people are Jewish, and lots of them are
Yeah,
Palestinian.
she said that, didn't
Christians.
she? She said it's mostly
Yeah.
Jews. So what? These are
Yeah.
all Jews?
So I don't understand. These people don't look Jewish to me.
Yeah, we're very confused, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go ahead and finish this clip, and then we'll check something out.
الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم.
So that's what's going on college campuses right now. They're having the protests. So you send your kid to one of these universities, and then of course they don't end up going to class. They end up going to the protests because that's what they're programmed to do. And then they become these activists. And then hey, let's all sign on for Islam. Let's all sign on for Islam. Now we're going to go ahead and look at a post, and I've seen the picture that you're referring to, and that is actually responding an Iranian woman actually responded to that in a
It's so funny.
pretty good tweet. What's that?
It's a funny thing. Like the parents are like, "Oh, we're paying $90,000 to send you to this beautiful university, and we hope you're getting something wonderful out of this." Oh yeah. Today, what we did today was we went out there, during our protests. Screw classes. I don't care about classes, but we went out there and we prayed like the Muslim way,
Yeah. You're paying for your sons and daughters to be duped into converting to Islam. All right. So check this out here. There's a response to this, and she shows the picture. Let me see. Let's see. It's a long post. We'll go ahead and read this real quick because this is all. This is something that happens. It's the same thing with like Mossab, right? Mossab Hassan Yusuf responding to college protesters, and they have no clue. They have no clue what they're actually doing. They have no clue what's actually going on. And a person who does know tries to tell them, and they just don't care. It's similar here. Right? It's similar. A woman from Iran tells these girls what they're bowing to. Right? Oh,
I'm
look
sorry,
at this, AP.
just looking at the photo, let me tell you one thing. I want to tell you something about Muslim culture. Just looking at this photo, so these women have no idea how they are presenting themselves and how this is viewed in Muslim culture, especially from the perspective of Muslim men, of religious preachings and so on. Just looking at this looks extremely sexual.
Mm-hmm.
This just looks extremely sexual, and you might say, well, why? It was just a bunch of women just there, on the ground. Well, that's not how it is viewed in Muslim culture, because Muslim culture, specifically, it is said women are not supposed to be seen, are not supposed to show themselves, are not supposed to pray in front of men, lest they distract they might distract the men from.
Is this something that could distract? Is this something that could distract men? They were looking at this.
They will probably go crazy. I mean, just looking at that woman, just the first one.
Which one?
With her butt exposed.
Which one?
Her back exposed. This is like. People will go crazy and will say, "Wait, I can't control myself. I can't control myself. Should I pray now, or should I go and hump her?" Like this is what they will. This is how they will react to this issue. This is this is extremely sexual, and these people have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah. So this is how a Dawa guy would be looking at this right now. So going from the right, starting at the chick in the bottom right hand corner. oh, look at that milky white flesh exposed on her back. Ooh,
Oh,
look at
I
that.
just want to
Oh,
grab her.
and the
Forget about
red hair,
Allah.
and the red hair. And then the chick beside that in the orange, oh, she's covered up, but her head is not. Ooh. And then you go to the chick beside that, ooh, we almost have a panty shot. Let me see if I can maneuver myself around during my prayers. Maybe I get a little panty shot where her jeans are sticking up. And then the chick beside that, up, another possible panty shot. And then this chick, oh, look at her shoulders. And, ooh, I wonder how those little straps, I wonder if they can contain her zabubas. I wonder if when she starts to raise her head up, her zabubas will be exposed. And then you have a couple of, looks like actual Muslims there in a row. And then you go down to second from the end there. Another, oh, look, her arms are exposed. And look, another
Whoa, I didn't
possible
even notice
panty
that.
shot. And her Daisy Dukes. Oh, that's what the Dawa guys
Jeez,
are doing right there. When
that
they see
looks
this.
extreme. I didn't even notice that one back there.
All these women are face down, butt up. Face down, butt up. That's the way Dawa likes it. The Dawa guys love these ladies.
This is so stupid. These people are, I don't want to say that they're mentally impaired. They're just incredibly ignorant. And I don't know, you could take this image and distribute it around the Muslim world and put it up in mosques, and this could totally lead to a complete corruption to to Muslim society. They would have this in their images forever and never ever forget about it, because it is so sexual. I'm serious. This is how sexualized this is. Oh, what do you think happens? What in the world do you think happens in a culture where women are basically covered up to look like trash bags, where they are shoved into the background and so on? What do you think happens if you then suddenly put women out there and make them bow and make them prostrate and make them show a little bit of skin? People go crazy. People go nuts. It is overly sexualized, fueled by sexual repression. These people have no idea what they're doing. These absolute imbeciles.
Yeah, pretty dumb. So, and look, they don't even have like real prayer mats and stuff. They're on like beach towels and stuff, face down, butt up in the air, thinking, oh, we're showing our solidarity with Islam. Oh yeah, they're going to want you to show more and to convert. And then the rules are going to change, and you're going to have a problem if you go out in public like that. All right, so Tired Kitten here responds, I'm an Iranian woman and have lived under the Islamic Republic for 20 and a half years. I moved to Germany. Why? Because I want to turn it into an Islamic hellhole. That's what people keep doing. No, that's not why she moved there. I moved to Germany because I thought the values I considered important would be respected in free Western countries. I'm leaving the Muslim world so I can get to a place that has better values. People cannot even imagine how triggering it is for us to see the unholy unity of Islamists and radical leftists. This is the very phenomena that changed the history of my country for the worse. I am beyond disgusted and disturbed. The women standing behind literal terrorists and Islamists saying prayers at universities to these women. You don't even know what you're getting yourself into. None of you have read the Al-Nisa Surah, that's Surah 4, where it is clearly stated that men literally own you and have the right to hit you if you refuse to have sex with them. She actually quotes it here, Surah 4, verse 34. Men are the protectors and maintainers of women because Allah has given the one more strength than the other, and because they support them from their means. Therefore, the righteous women are devoutly obedient. Isn't that interesting? Righteous women are devoutly obedient. You watch videos of all these Western converts, and it's, I'll decide for myself, and you guys can't tell me what to do because I decide for myself. It's all about just me and Allah. Me and Allah, we're mates. We don't have to listen to anyone else. We don't have to listen to the scholars, the Dawa guys, our husbands, nobody. This is how Islam works in our minds.
Yes, Queen.
Therefore, the righteous women are devoutly obedient and guard in the husband's absence what Allah would have them guard. As to those women on whose part ye fear disloyalty and ill conduct, admonish them first, next refuse to share their beds, and last beat them, lightly in parentheses because it's not actually in the Arabic, But if they return to obedience, seek not against them means of annoyance, for Allah is most high, great above you all. So beat them until they return to obedience. If your wife disobeys you, you beat her until she returns to obedience. Wow, wow, wow. Whoa, hey, she even...
Yes, slay, queen.
What you are standing up for today is anything but being woke and progressive. You should have the right to protest and stand up for causes that are important to you. But fighting Jewish students, attacking them, not understanding the fact that the hostages have to be brought back home and no peace can exist before that happens is outright wrong. Interesting. You guys are wrong. What you're doing is wrong. People who truly advocate about and fight for human rights are not selective with the causes they care about. Caring about human rights is one thing. Standing up behind Islamists, waving Hezbollah and Hamas flags and saying slogans that are against Jews and outright radical are not it. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Hashtag bring them home. Hashtag university protests. And she's specifically addressing this line of total dopes here. Duh, look how tolerant I am. I'm bowing down. Duh. Wow, wow, wow. Welcome. So I keep saying welcome to Islam, but my goodness, welcome to the intellectual level of college students in 2024.
The greatest contribution of the protesters was to provide Islam with Islamic porn. That's good.
Indeed. You don't have to say anything, AP. There's nothing. Sometimes there's nothing to say.
I feel like anything I would say right now would be very, very horrible. So
yeah.
I just
let it slide. Let it slide. So we have to agree with this comment from D. It would be funny if the converted campus kids made a woke version of Islam and spread. Yeah, but I don't think it will. It can last for a while. And Dawa guys will let it last for a while when it's convenient. And then they will crush it whenever it becomes not convenient. Art G says, hello, AP and D Wood. I'm confused as to why the Prophet compared some tribes to monkeys and apes and whether this comparison serves as evidence for the theory of evolution.
Yes, it is evolution. Yes.
Yeah, no. This is Allah punishing people by doing stuff.
Devolution, yeah.
Will she outrank the other wives because she's blonde? Yes. Yes, that is a huge status symbol for a Muslim in a Muslim country, having a blonde wife.
Yes.
Blonde European revert wife. That is, she can get a very, very rich Muslim businessman because of who she is. D. Wood, how do you explain people in Old Testament living so long? God bless. I don't. It's just not a topic I'm terribly interested in. The reverts are pretty and young, maybe not smart. Please don't waste your time on a thing that would eventually destroy your life. Yeah, we're reaping the fruits of everything our leaders have been doing for the past couple decades.
Recently I have been kind of thinking that people really deserve what's coming to them, and
the same thought.
I don't want to really. I don't like these are stupid college students, as it seems. Or I guess I don't know. So, but the thing is, I guess maybe we should treat college students like little children by now.
Good idea.
Because that's how they act. But I don't know. I feel like if these people actually took it seriously and decided to become more active and go and become part of the very culture that they're supposedly supporting here, they will probably end up suffering and end up being raped, end up being abused, end up getting killed, and so on. And the thing is, I'm at such a point with these absolute imbeciles doing these ridiculous acts that despite being quite emotional and feeling bad for people here and there, if these idiots, these activists went and suffered because of the very same thing that they're supporting, I wouldn't even feel bad. I would think you deserve it. You ask for it. That's what you get. That's what you get. Maybe you should all experience the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a sucky situation. You want to say, hey, people are doing stupid things. They get what they deserve. On the other hand, we all do stupid things, and it just sucks that you do this one stupid thing, and it like screws up your life a lot. So you end up with that sort of thing. And then what really sucks is the people who didn't do something stupid. So you got all these people who are going to be caught in the crossfire of, they're going to be stuck with the decisions that their stupid leaders and their stupid journalists and the stupid educators and the stupid entertainers forced on them. And they didn't want any of that, but yet it's their daughters who are.
Well, it's a thing, right? There is doing stupid thing, and then there is doing stupid thing. Like you could go and you could, for example, you go on a trip and you don't take enough things with you, and you're kind of stuck, and you're like, oh no, that was a very stupid thing to do. And then there's also another stupid thing, which is going on a protest and actively putting yourself out there in front of TVs, in front of social media, and actively supporting actual monstrous, vile, disgusting, filthy, rapist terrorists, and thereby encouraging them to continue fighting and continue killing more people and raping more people, and helping them get away with that kind of stuff. So you think, oh, I am out there, I don't really know what I'm doing, but everyone is protesting right now because Palestinians, they're being oppressed, right? And I want to go stand up for that, yeah. And then I want to share it on social media so I can get a lot of likes and everyone can see how good I am. And you go there and you actually support these bastards, these rapists, who kill entire families of peaceful people who just want to live their lives, and who are not as naive as you are, but who are proper, who are good people. Those people are being eradicated. They are being murdered. They are being killed. They're being tortured. They're being raped. And you, for some virtue signaling, for some plus points in society, go and support them. That is more than just doing something stupid. And I guess some acts of stupidity should have severe consequences. And yes, you might just be a naive, stupid idiot who doesn't understand the world, and you think, oh, I'm standing up for these people, I'm supporting the Palestinians, and thereby you are actually excusing and possibly causing more massacre and more suffering and more rape. Maybe you deserve to experience suffering and the worst things that you are supporting right there. Maybe you deserve all of those things, and maybe if those things happen then to you, everyone else shouldn't feel so bad about it, because you help cause suffering, you help cause pain in the world. You should just go and die in Gaza, maybe. I don't know.
Well, here we have the dark musings of an atheist German Turkish guy.
Lately, I'm really thinking.
Yeah, you're getting real negative, man. Everyone could just die. Everyone could just die. That's what they deserve. Just go die. Everyone go die in Gaza.
You saw yesterday. We looked at that bill and how the vast majority of people are creating panic over nothing.
Yeah, they get panic over. People become panicked over whatever they wake up and find out they're supposed to be panicking about on Twitter. What am I supposed to be panicking about right now? Oh my goodness, it's the end of the world! Ah! Okay, how bad is it really? It's the end of the world! This is the destruction of the United States democracy! We're done! Stick a fork in us, we're done!
I'm honestly thinking at this point right now, with the way the world is, with the way people react to things, if suddenly we receive news that an extraterrestrial species that is like millennia advanced is coming, and they're like, hey, we have been observing your kind, and we discovered that that you are very, very inferior to us, and it's very hopeless because you have to grow for millennia or for millions of years maybe to be as advanced as us, so we have decided to eradicate you all and take your planet. I would be like, hey, fantastic.
Yeah,
let me know how I can help you guys take it over.
I've said that, you know, we all grew up on sci-fi movies where the machines take over and control us. And I posted on Twitter, I was like, what? Those machines are looking pretty good right now. Those machines are looking pretty darn good right now. Like especially the ones from like iRobot and so on, where they're programmed not to hurt human beings, but they follow that programming to the logical conclusion that they have to protect human beings from doing really dumb stuff, so they have to completely dominate and control human beings and so on. It's looking pretty bleak back when it came out. Looking pretty darn appealing right now with everything else going on in the world. But Sankaya here says maybe they should study Islam before reverting. That's another problem, that the attitude in the West has always been the people who know the least about Islam are the ones who understand it best. That's why we saw after every terrorist attack, you'd have a politician, you'd have the president of the United States come on, let me tell you what Islam really teaches here. And it's like, wait, you know better than the other guys? You know better? And like journalists, Hollywood people, Ben Affleck, let me tell you what Islam really teaches. You don't know what you're talking about, Sam Harris. I'll tell you what Islam really teaches. Like the more clueless you are, the more you actually know, the more of an expert you are. And people absorb this mentality. I know all about Islam. I've been hearing about how wonderful it is my entire life. Where do I sign? And that's what you get. That's what they do. Raisin Bread says, I am a female. Oh, here we go. I am a female and person of color who converted to Christianity from Islam. In the victimhood hierarchy, do I come above, below, or am I on equal standing with the white women who convert to Islam? You are below, because Islam trumps everything. You have the victimhood hierarchy. I've actually seen this because I pay attention to situations. Oh, now it's Islam versus like LGBTQ stuff. What's going to happen here? Islam always trumps everything else in the victimhood hierarchy, which is weird because, I mean, you got roughly 2 billion adherents in the Muslim world. They've got dozens of Muslim countries. Somehow they are the perpetual victims in every situation. And they as victims trump everything else. Doesn't matter. Jews, LGBTQ, women, racial minorities, Islam trumps everything. If you're a Muslim, you are the ultimate victim. Doesn't matter if you're rich, doesn't matter if you control everyone else around you, you are the real victim in all of this.
You could even be black, and you could actually trace your lineage to slavery, and you would expect that in America, the overly social justice obsessed leftist people would treat a black person, a black woman, as a very great victim. However, even in this case, you would be less of a victim than a Muslim, and especially like if you are a black woman and you say something against Islam, they would actually attack you. Mm-hmm. You see that on social media.
Indeed.
It's so wild, so weird.
It's pretty wild stuff.
Any sense?
Yeah, you wonder how long it's going to take for people to get rid of that stupid idea. Let's see. Somehow I feel like it is their bad luck they didn't come across your channels. I hear people saying they nearly became Muslim but found you guys. Yeah, and I think that may be connected to why it's more prominent on TikTok, because we're not really on TikTok. In TikTok, you had lots of the Dawa clowns go over there and start making tons of TikTok videos because the rest of us weren't over there, and it was becoming harder to make their points on YouTube because we would blast them instantly. But yeah, so I think it's more heavily Dawa friendly over there.
Did you see that? Somebody asked about it earlier, but did you see that whole that announcement at the University of Chicago? The supply needs things that they're asking for.
What do they need? I'll bring it to them.
There were things like HIV tests.
Yeah. So anyway, I bowed down to Allah for my prayers, and I didn't want to break my prayers when guys were sneaking up behind me and doing who knows what. And now I want an HIV test for my protest for Palestine.
This is wild stuff.
People have pushed me so far from Allah,
Believe me, Blondie, that is for the best. Well, no, AP says she's already like in Dubai, and she will find a husband down there. Rich one.
What?
Very rich one. What?
Wow.
What?
Okay. I'm. I just looked at the list and I noticed that the HIV test is not the worst thing that they're asking for.
Oh, what?
Like covering to use for oral sex and
ew.
stuff like that.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, we need this. We need this for our protest.
Guys, we need basic humanitarian
Yes,
aid
all these
for our
women are
protest.
putting their butts up in our faces while they bow down to pray. What do you expect from us?
What in the hell?
The Guild of
These guys
Paranormal
are
Theology.
so out of touch with whatever they're protesting for. Idiots, man. God.
Paladin Wood, the Black Plague may have been a demonic plan to cause the Protestant Reformation. The times line up for the big points of the plague. Well, yeah, you can say anything is the cause of anything. That's a fallacy. I found out there's a new way of sexual harassment. Simply read particular hadith out loud in front of the victim to freak her out. For instance, like Sahih Muslim 83424. Don't try it seriously. Want to freak someone out?
Sahih Muslim 83424.
I would just go with the 3424.
AKA 1453A. A messenger of Allah, I see on the face of Abu Hudayfa signs of disgust on entering of Salim. Oh, this is the suckling verse.
Oh, yeah, the suckling one.
Suckle him. How can I suckle him as he's a grown-up man? Allah's messenger
got a
smiled
beard.
and said, I already know that he's a grown man.
Put your zabubas in his mouth. Do it. Let me watch you. I'm the
on, why don't
prophet.
you
I'm
just
the
put your
prophet.
boobs in his mouth. I know he's a young man. Just put him in his mouth.
Put the zabubas. Give him the zabubas. Looks like Islam is about to bring down the wrath of Jin Z upon itself. This, whatever happens, it looks like it's going to be interesting. Looks like it.
It is going to become an avalanche.
Can we please get Lindsay Lohan in here to show these hussies the proper Arabic inflection? Yeah, that's what we need. We need Lindsay Lohan. Crazy how Islam, of all religions, is the one getting press in the West that leads to this. If it were Hinduism or Sikhism, they might get sold overpriced junk, but Islam is their pick, and wow. Yeah, they definitely picked a winner with that one. Great job, politicians, journalists, everyone.
It's because Islam cries itself into dominance.
Muhammad said to drink camel urine. Now we have uropathy science. Would you, AP, drink your own urine if science says so?
Of course, I would drink it right away.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
I'd drink my own urine if they said there's some great health benefit to it.
Yeah. In fact, tell me right now that there's something good, and I'll drink it right here.
Yeah, and there are situations where you would do it. So apparently, if you're in a situation where you are out in the middle of a desert and you have no access to water, then you can drink your own pee. Better, I think it's better to actually take your shirt, pee on the shirt, wrap the shirt around your head to keep your head cool. That would be a better use of your urine.
I think if you actually drink your urine, it actually does the opposite effect.
Clearly, these women have not seen Ali Dawa's show, Perfect Islam Whiteboard Women. It should be their go-to online show. Yeah, that should. Yeah, everyone, every potential revert, especially you ones on TikTok, should be watching Ali Dawa's Whiteboard Wife to learn proper Islamic etiquette and see what you will be praised for. You think she's being harassed by Muslims? No, she's being praised for how obedient she is. Westoids are so subjectivist, they get shocked to realize real Muslims actually believe their religion is true and requires certain beliefs and behaviors. Yeah, it is. It's shocking to them. Wait a minute. I thought everything is just feelings and attention. Now there are actually rules I have to follow as part of the religion of submission. Forgotten Hadith number 1. Moped used to say, never teach sex ed and driver's ed on the same day. Goats will get confused.
That's good.
Apostate Joe Smith says, does she not have a proper marker board? I like that this is becoming popular. We need to bring up the Ali Dawah thing more and watch that more, just because it's really funny if every time a woman is speaking right now, the Ali Dawah whiteboard thing comes up.
Yeah, that's funny.
Is Elijah Schaefer a true Christian? Not familiar with who that is. Can you be anti-Zionist and Christian, or is he just another Nick Fuentes? You can be anti-Zionist and Christian. You can't like hate Jews and want them to die or be exterminated or something like that.
Elijah Schaefer is a full-blown Nazi sympathizing.
Well, then he's a scumbag.
Nazi sympathizing.
Then he would I don't know anything about him, but based on what AP has just said, he sounds like another Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, he's one of those people who have been just putting out all kinds of horrible anti-Jew, Jews are disgusting kind of stuff, you know.
I like to go on Muslim sites and tell them I'm an ex-Muslim since we were all born Muslim, but I'm an atheist and have no objective morality. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Alhamdulillah.
AP, thoughts on Bukhari 3849?
Bugatti 3849.
Sahih Bugatti.
Oh, this is the one that says, narrated by Amr ibn Maymun. During the pre-Islamic period of ignorance, I saw a she-monkey surrounded by a number of monkeys. They were all stoning it because it had committed illegal sexual intercourse. I, too, stoned it along with them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's a weird passage. But, so, I mean, you know, the downside is that doesn't actually come from Muhammad, so Muslims can dismiss it and just say, hey, this is some guy talking. But at the same time, this shows the mentality of the early Muslim community.
Alhamdulillah.
Will the Quran ever get a Queen James version? If not, someone should make one. Before converting to Islam, she hoped to have children. Now she can only bring children.
Children.
Are there any golden showers at this event? As you're talking about the college protesters. Hey, matter of fact, before we go on, AP, I got another video of college protesters.
Ooh.
AP, I have a video of college protesters mounting an offensive charge against police.
I saw that.
Using their garbage can armor. This is the charge of the woke brigade here. Half a league onward, all in the valley of death. Rode the 600. Are you ready to see these protesters mount their final charge against the police who are trying to control them? Here we have it.
Yes.
I could watch this 1,000 times. Here they come. Here they come. These are the protesters, ladies and gentlemen. Look. You see that? They've got garbage cans that they've cut up garbage bins. They've cut up garbage bins, and they're using them as shields. They've got on like bicycle helmets and stuff like that. And they're actually charging the police, and other protesters are cheering them on. I don't know what place this is. I saw someone say this is UCLA. I don't trust what I see on Twitter, so I don't actually know where this is. But if anyone knows, you can let us know. But they're actually charging police. And it's funny because they're using garbage cans, and this is before your time, AP. Garbage cans used to be these metal cans, and they had a metal lid, but the metal lid had a handle on it. And if you were a kid, you grew up playing with, that's a perfect shield. That is a perfect shield if you're playing with. You get a lid from a garbage can, a metal lid from a garbage can with a handle on it, and a broomstick. You're ready for war. You're ready for war. If you can ride your bike without hands, which all of us could, you can have your shield and your broomstick and be jousting on that thing. And so it's interesting that these guys decided to use that route against police, actual police and riot gear. So let's see how this goes. Look at this. This guy's into it. Woohoo! Go, yeah. Go, protester, go. Oh! He ran right into the cops. Look, they're trying to pull their guy away, and cops are holding on to him. Oh man,
What an imbecile! So
I
not,
wish
not
I
only
wish I
did
had.
he assaulted a cop, and he also he didn't even get away. He got caught. Good
Yeah.
luck. Good luck.
This is awesome.
Ruin your life.
Charge of the
Idiot.
woke brigade here. Here we go. Here we go. Just got to see it one more time. Here they come. Here they come. They're cheering. They got an army. And it's funny, like, but you know, around the corner, they're like, "Look how many we are!" Like, some of them got umbrellas and stuff. I don't know. I guess the umbrella. What are they trying to guard against if the police hurl tear gas at them or something like that? You got umbrellas and then garbage can shields, and they charge right into them. They're thinking, we can take these guys. Here we go.
Yeah.
It almost sounds like the rebel yell a little bit.
Yeah.
Hear it? Got the rebel yell going on. These rebels. Oh, why couldn't we have that? This guy ran right into him. No. You just ran into a cop. You're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. I wish I had like 10 minutes of whatever happened there instead of this short little clip. That is classic, man. That is classic. Hey, guys who just charged the cops, I do not encourage charging the cops, but that is hilarious. I thank you for entertaining us with that.
Man, oh man, oh man.
That's where we're at with the college protesters using garbage cans to charge police and riot gear. We're dealing with the top brass here, ladies and gentlemen. We're dealing with the top brass. Let's see. If Germans convert to Islam, we are... Oh, did you have something? Did you want to say something?
No, we are going to talk about the thing, right? Elon Musk's announcement about... Yeah.
Yep, we got two more topics to cover.
Okay.
Two more topics to cover. If Germans convert to Islam, we are going to have a lot of problems. That's not a good mixture. Guess what? AP, can you think of some German leader at some point who thought it would be the perfect mixture?
Yes, Adolf Hitler. He said, why did Germans have to be Christians? Why did they have to be Christians with its meekness and flabbiness? Why could it not be the Islamic religion, the Mohammedan religion, which glorifies violence and the martyr? Or why not the Japanese religion? Why did it have to be Christianity? So he loved Islam, and he also, in another instance, he also talked about how his wish would be that the Muslims had conquered Europe, and that the Germans would have become Muslims, and that the Germans would then have become the leaders of Islam, because the Arabs, as inferior people, wouldn't be fit. In Europe, so Germans would take over and they would conquer the world with the perfect religion of violence, Islam.
Yeah, so he believed that the Germans were intellectually and biologically superior to the Arabs, but that the Arabs had a superior ideology for conquering the world. And he believed if you combined those things, the German people with the ideology of Islam, you would get something that will conquer the world. That was his dream. That was what he wanted. And somehow the German people decided, let's make Hitler's wish come true.
But it doesn't even make sense, because if German people are intellectually superior, then they wouldn't accept Islam.
Indeed. Is it any wonder those ignorant, hypocritical, immoral enough to adopt Palestinianism equal genocidal Islamic imperialism in Israel would also fall for dawah?
Yes.
Yeah. If you adopt enough stupid ideas, then you probably perfect. Yes. You're probably the perfect receptacle for Muhammad's teachings.
Yes.
The Washington Post reports that the U.S. told Qatar that it should expel Hamas if the group continues to reject a ceasefire with Israel. Interesting. They told, apparently, well, I'd have to see this, but the Washington Post told them that you should expel Hamas if their trajectory continues and they refuse to accept a ceasefire with Israel. Kick them out. Interesting. I'm sure.
It has been reported that Hamas is looking for is asking around for a different country to take them in because they think if the trajectory continues as it is, then Qatar might demand us to leave. So they're asking for another country to take them in, and one of those is Turkey, which will be the perfect opportunity to. Anyway, yes, to deal with the Turkey.
Fresh trim AP, take notes, D Wizzy. No, will not happen.
Alhamdulillah.
Why do you call them reverts? Reverts are people born into a religion, fall away, then come back. Aren't they converts? Yeah, but according to their religion, they were born that way, then were led astray, then went back to it. So they're reverts. That's their view. Yes, we think that view is stupid, but I do it kind of as like mockery, like these reverts. College kids already made a woke version of Islam that spread. They were called the Young Turks. Not very funny, though. No, they weren't funny at all. AP, sometimes you gotta just remember, women be trifling. Sigma music plays. AP disappeared, and he's not even around to hear it.
What is it?
AP.
Yes.
Sometimes you gotta just remember, women be trifling.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, Sigma music plays. You got that?
Yes.
I'm wondering how far away we are from the first stoning in the West.
People get stoned all the time.
Yeah, people get stoned all the time here. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
What Islam has to do with the Palestinian freedom oppression? Why pray as Muslims? I thought the war is about land. Funny that the same people that call Merry Christmas offensive now pray and chant like racist terror. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. We're Moo. Yeah. There's no one's claiming that any of this makes sense. It is complete incoherent insanity. It's at the end. Oh, this is a song. It's the end of the world as we know it, and I feel fine. I feel fine because part of me is kind of morbidly curious about how far we can go with this stupidity.
Here's my hijab book.
AP being the Turkish Benedict Arnold betraying all of humanity for some crusty third-rate aliens is the least surprising thing I have ever heard.
They always
Fair
make
point.
these movies where these aliens invade, and then people are like, "No, I will stand up to this and defend humanity until the last of us dies." I'll be like, I don't care. Let me know how I can help. Mm-hmm. Let me know how I can help take over it because this is hopeless, and I have more hope in you guys. So,
take a big tree branch, yell there, Garkad power. We need to do something with a Garkad tree. We need to find out what the heck that is and actually get some branches of it and do something.
Fantastic book, by the way. Everyone should get this book. I was looking for a different book, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, no one cares what you're looking for. Many college kids my age are silly, unfortunately. Yes, that is true. I do want to point out that we do have grape now in the name. A pusillanimous leather grape on Zabiba machine of the cow.
Based.
That is as complete a name for this channel as any I have seen. Random person said, check out Destiny Debate versus Suleiman on Fresh and Fit. Suleiman did Elite Takia on Aisha's age at the end of the debate. That's perfect. That's a perfect topic.
Ooh.
Suleiman versus all the Dawa guys. Ooh, that's going to be interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, I predict we will be covering at least some of that discussion this weekend.
I might just want to go through it tomorrow, honestly.
Yeah. You should check it out tonight, and then we will go through some of it. Wait, more on the aliens? AP says that he will help the aliens take over Earth. The aliens will tell AP that he can help, but he will be their slave and have to face their home planet 5 times a day to pray. Gonna have to face their home planet.
I'm fine with it.
D Wood, your girl voice sounds like Mr. Hanky. Well, that's my goal in life. But that's what girls sound like. Someone should just someone should host a pork-only barbecue with a halal pork sign next to a mosque and record the interactions. Can y'all set that up? That would be funny, man. Put one of those street barbecue things up and advertise it as halal pork, and see what happens. And just record. That would be based. Start playing metal music on loudspeakers. There we go. When it comes to those protesters, the charge of the woke brigade. That's why, I don't know how many years we have left, but that's why the Benny Hill theme song needs to become public domain, so we don't get blocked for playing that when people do stupid stuff like that, because that is extremely, extremely important stuff. All right, AP. All right, AP. You wanted to talk about your hero, Nick Fuentes?
The what song?
You wanted to talk about the Benny Hill song, man. It's before your time. There's a song. You probably have heard it before, but it's a... When people are running around doing stuff real fast and stuff, it just makes everything hilarious.
Sounds familiar.
But that was the Benny Hill show, which I watched when I was a little kid. All right, AP, are you ready?
Yes.
2 more topics. We have inspiring philosophy, humiliating Sneeko, and we have the return of Nick Fuentes.
That's just cruel, man.
What's that?
Cruel.
That's cruel. We're going to have Sneeko here.
Jesus was a Muslim.
Yep, I got us too big here. Hang on. How am I going to make us smaller here? How am I going to make us smaller here?
Jesus was a Muslim, yeah. Don't you know?
We're too big. I actually can't shrink us here, man. What's going on here? Huh?
Beast.
Hang on. Not letting me shrink us. And if the trajectory continues, here we go.
I should visit Destiny's live stream tomorrow and talk to him about Sully.
You should. Hey, dude, you should. I don't know. We don't know what Destiny. We don't know what Suleiman's Taqiya allowed him to deceive Destiny about. So if he actually got away with anything, you should invite Destiny on and we could go through some sources. We'll actually go through the sources.
Could do that, yeah.
That'd be good?
Yeah, maybe.
All right. So here we have, ladies and gentlemen, we have our good friend Sneeko again, and he's all dressed up for Dawah, and he's in the backseat, I think, with a Catholic guy, and Sneeko is doing his Dawah. But guess who's having none of it today? Our good friend Mike Jones, retired rapper Mike Jones, inspiring philosophy, is going to be responding to Sneeko, who all he ever does is give like the Dawah script. But you start to see how bad it is. Even though he's using the exact same claims that your average Dawah guy would use, look at how easy this is to rip apart. And you should all be wondering, Christians of the world, you should be wondering how these guys get away with this when it is so easy to completely debunk and dismantle. Let's watch some of this.
Jesus was a Muslim.
No, he wasn't.
I know you're Catholic. He was. He can't be a Christian. How could Jesus be a Christian?
We don't teach Jesus as a Christian. Followers of Jesus are Christians. And this is a false dichotomy. Just because Jesus is not a Christian, that doesn't magically make him a Muslim, Sneeko.
This is very important. This is every time Sneeko speaks, there is some sort of logical fallacy. So inspiring philosophy just pointed out the false dichotomy, meaning where you say, well, if it's not this, so it must be this. He's not a Christian because a Christian is a follower of Christ. So Jesus isn't a Christian himself. So if he's not a Christian, then he must be a Muslim. That's what Sneeko just claimed. If someone isn't a Christian, he has to be a Muslim. Those are the only two. That's why it's called a false dichotomy. You're saying these are the two options when there are an endless array of options.
I just break it down and just use words that everyone can understand. It's like this. Hey, did you know that Jesus was a Muslim? No, he was not. Are you saying that Jesus Christ was actually a follower of Christ? Obviously not. So he was a Muslim.
Yep, has to be a Muslim. You're either that or that. Those are the only two options. No, wrong, Sneeko, you're stupid. And this is just what's amazing. Like what Sneeko said, that's exactly what the Dawa guys say. He's just absorbed the Dawa script. He's a walking Dawa script. And it's kind of fun because it makes it fun to watch him get ripped apart. But here we go.
He wasn't Jewish religiously because he believed in heaven and hell. His belief system did not follow the Jewish faith.
Not all Jews believe the same thing. There are many Orthodox Jews that believe in some type of heaven and hell. And let's be clear, Jesus most definitely was of Jewish descent.
Okay. And then he said Jesus
wasn't Jewish because he believed in heaven and hell. And so what would be the assumption there? That no Jew could believe in heaven or hell. And so now he's got the now it's, well, he's not a Christian or a Jew, therefore he's a Muslim. All right. So Inspiring Philosophy put up the passage there. How is it that you, a Jew, ask for a drink from me, a woman of Samaria? A Samaritan woman pointing out, hey, you're a Jew.
Okay. And then he said Jesus was a Christian. Christianity is based on the fact that he died for his sins. You can't be a religion when the whole religion is based upon him dying. So he must be a Muslim.
Sneeko, once again, that's a false dichotomy.
See that, ladies and gentlemen? In Christianity, Jesus died on the cross for sins, and that's foundational Christianity. But he couldn't believe, he couldn't have put his faith in himself over that sort of thing. Therefore, he's a Muslim.
Wow, man,
this is like the dumbest thing ever. And I guarantee, without even looking, I guarantee you, wherever that clip is, Muslims, oh, alhamdulillah, Sneeko's so powerful with his dawah. Oh my goodness, he's so great. Every single thing he says involves a fallacy. Every single thing.
You could have a serious scholar sit down here and present the most amazing research for an hour, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is wrong. It's wrong." And then you have Sneeko saying, "Well, the whole religion based on Jesus dying. It doesn't make sense." And the audience is like 60,000 people are like, "Yes, brother, mashallah."
Mm-hmm.
This is why I would totally help the aliens.
I would choose the aliens. Here we go. Let's get more Sneeko here.
So he must be a Muslim.
Sneeko, once again, that's a false dichotomy. It doesn't logically follow that because Jesus is not a Christian, he therefore must be a Muslim. Jesus taught us that he existed before Abraham was born, that we must be baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, that we must partake of the Eucharist, which is his real flesh and his real blood, that he came to die, atone for our sins, and resurrect. And on the last day, it is going to be Jesus who resurrects us.
Doesn't sound like a
Muslim. And this is just a fraction of the many things Jesus taught that are not in line with Islam.
Because in the Bible and the Quran, Jesus put his head to the floor and prostrated and prayed like a Muslim do.
There you have it. He bowed down and put his head on the floor to pray. Let me go ahead and read that. You have that in Matthew 26. You have that in Matthew 26. Here's the verse, and here's how Muslims read it. Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed. You see, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed. You see, Muslim, what did he pray? They stop it right there. I've seen it over and over again. I've seen them stop the quotation right there. Going a little farther, he fell with his face to the ground and prayed, my Father, my Father, my Father. My Father, if it is possible, may this cup be taken. My Father.
He can't have said that because the Quran said, because according to the Quran, Allah gets incredibly angry about the thought of, asserting that somebody could call Allah Father, or people could call themselves son of Allah or children of Allah. So this is not possible. Jesus can't have said these things.
Yeah. So AP, you're an ex-Muslim. Let's get your expert opinion here. When Muslims pray, and we have Sneeko right there praying in the mosque right there. When Muslims pray, do they start their prayers, my Father?
Nope, because that would be unacceptable. It would be blasphemy, and you would be out of the bounds of Islam.
And so Sneeko is saying Jesus here must be a Muslim because he's praying like a Muslim, and he isn't praying like a Muslim at all. And if he prayed like this, Muslims would be pretty darn upset with him over this. And so, interesting. All right, let's back this thing up. But nope, he must be a Muslim. What's up?
Well, it could be that that the gospel recorded it correctly up until that spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, got that. But our good friend, Inspiring Philosophy, is going to point out another problem, and then I'll probably point out another one as well.
Quran, Jesus put his head to the floor and prostrated and prayed like a Muslim do.
You know, Sneeko, if you like Jesus so much, why don't you do what he commanded? Be baptized in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. And Jesus didn't always pray with his face down. In John 17, it says he lifted his eyes to heaven. In Mark 11, he instructed you could pray while standing.
Pray while standing.
And you ask like, oh, but...
And by the way, there's another fallacy. I don't think IP points this one out. This is a fallacy. So guys, notice the reasoning. Muslims pray with their heads to the ground. Jesus prayed with his head to the ground. Therefore, Jesus is a Muslim. If you don't know what an actual fallacy is called, ladies and gentlemen, you can always just start inserting some other ingredients into it and then see if it makes sense. So the fallacy here, the fallacy is actually called the fallacy of the undistributed middle. You don't need to know that. Just think about other ingredients. So Muslims pray with their faces on the ground. Jesus prayed with his face to the ground. So you can ignore the other passages where Jesus looks up to heaven because they'll ignore all those. They'll just go with the one that actually fits. And it will ignore the fact that he says, my Father. We'll ignore all that. We'll ignore the fact that none of this lines up with Islam. Just ignore everything else in the entire rest of the New Testament. Just Jesus puts his face to the ground. Does that make him a Muslim? That's Sneeko's reasoning. He doesn't know that this is the fallacy of the undistributed middle. Muslims pray with their faces to the ground. Jesus prayed with his face to the ground. Therefore, Jesus was a Muslim. All you have to do is change the ingredients a little bit and see if it works. Dogs like steak. I like steak. Therefore, I'm a dog.
Yep.
Dogs are mammals. My cat is a mammal. Therefore, my cat is a dog.
Yes.
Does any of that make sense? It's the exact same it's the exact same argument structure. This or this. This also or therefore this is this. Total fallacy. Idiotic. It's insanely idiotic. It is standard day one Dawah script. Why? Why is the entire foundation of Islamic Dawah lies, deception, and fallacies? If Islam is the truth, why would it need this? Why would it need this all the time? But let's let Sneeko continue.
Islam was created 500 years later. The definition of Muslim means one who serves. And you ask like, oh, but Islam was created 500 years later. The definition of Muslim means one who serves God.
Then by that definition, all Christians that believe in the Trinity can claim to be Muslims.
Jesus served God. He was spreading God's message.
What?
That's not what it means. That's not what Muslim means. The Muslim literally means one who submits, and then it is then inferred by one who submits. We mean someone who submits to Allah. That is what it is supposed to mean.
And we already saw. We already saw 465 says it's not just submit it. You have to submit in a particular way.
Yeah,
there are requirements. But go ahead.
Here's the thing. Here's an issue. Look, they're saying Abraham was a Muslim, Moses was a Muslim, Jesus was a Muslim. Why? Because Muslim just means somebody who submits or who serves Allah. Okay, let's look at that argument for a second. So, you know what I thought of
How would I know
a while
what you thought
ago?
of? I'm not psychic.
A while ago, Muhammad Hijab talked to us about GIMP suits and about BDSM, right?
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, so wearing a it is a sexual practice to put on one of those suits and to thereby be known as a sub or a submissive person or one who submits in sexual BDSM practices. So we can therefore agree. So if Muslim means just someone who submits, then in this sexual fetish culture, somebody who puts on a suit like that and submits to a dominant person is thereby a Muslim. So we could argue that if you put on a GIMP suit, for example, like Muhammad Hijab likes to talk about, that is actually a Muslim outfit, and being submissive in sexual BDSM fetishes makes you a Muslim. So this is actually an Islamic practice. Here, there you go.
Yeah, guys. So pay attention. That the reasoning that Sneeko just used, the etymology of this word is, and he said, someone who serves Allah. AP pointed out, no, it's not. The etymology is just one who submits. So if you're just saying the word means this, and therefore anyone who meets the etymological meaning of the word is that thing, then yes, someone who dresses up in a gimp suit and submits to some sexual ruler is a Muslim.
Yes, there you go.
According to, by the way, this is actually called a fallacy. This is actually considered a fallacy. It's called the etymological fallacy, saying here's what the word actually means when it was. Here's what the word originally meant, and therefore we can apply it, even though the word means something much different now. And that's what Sneeko just did. But hey, we could give you more examples of this, right? The word Hindu originally just meant someone from India.
Yeah.
It just meant someone from India. It didn't mean an adherent of a particular religion. So following Sneeko's reasoning, Muslims in India are Hindus. Zakir Naik is a Hindu. According to Sneeko, Zakir Naik is a Hindu. Why? Because the etymological meaning was just someone from India.
Yeah.
Buddhist, the Buddha means enlightened one. Do Muslims believe that Muhammad was enlightened? Yes. So Muhammad was the Buddha because he's the enlightened one, right? Muhammad's the enlightened one. So Muhammad's Buddha, and therefore Muslims are Buddhists. Muslims are Buddhists. Muslims are Hindus. Do you really want to argue this way? Anyone else on the planet, except for Dawa guys, would think this is the most insanely stupid and idiotic, fallacious reasoning that exists. And it is absolutely foundational to Dawa. They are programming Sneeko on a daily basis because they know how stupid his followers are, and they're programming him to use this reasoning with his followers. Because it's standard Dawa script. But let's let Sneeko continue.
Muslim, by definition, does not specifically mean Quran. It means one who serves God.
As I've noted before, this is an etymological fallacy.
Oh, he did point
The root of the word does not determine the word's meaning. You're speaking English, Sneeko, and in English, the word Muslim means an adherent of Islam. And by the way, when Muslims play this game of semantics to try to make Jesus a Muslim, it's a waste of time. It doesn't actually get them to the conclusion they want, which is that Jesus taught the same things we find in the Quran. If they try to claim the term Muslim means one who submits to God, then any Christian can claim to be a Muslim, which they won't accept.
Right. So just to be clear, ladies and gentlemen, if I went around saying, I'm a Muslim right now, I'm a Muslim, I submit to God, they would say, no, you're not submitting to God properly. You have to do this and this and that. And you have to submit to our God. Okay. One who's not called Father? Which Jesus just referred to God as Father? I don't know what to do here, man. This is like, this is Dawa. All right.
Which they won't accept. If they try to say the term Muslim means one who submits to the God of the Quran, then Jesus definitely wasn't a Muslim because there's no evidence the religion of Islam existed before Muhammad. And if they then use the claims of the Quran to argue that Islam existed before Muhammad, that will be circular reasoning. It's impossible to state Jesus was a Muslim without committing at least one logical fallacy.
Did you catch that? He went through all the various possibilities of how you could he went through all the various possibilities, and every single one of them would involve a fallacy. If you're saying Jesus is a Muslim, every possible way you could make that claim, you have to use a logical fallacy. Muslims of the world, you cannot maintain that Jesus was a Muslim unless you are using a logical fallacy. You can't. It's impossible. That's what Dawa has done to you. That's the position that your religion. That's the position that your religion has put you in. Thank you, Inspiring Philosophy, for being the latest person to absolutely crush Sneeko. And you just wonder how much more Sneeko can put up with. He seems to like just being horribly brutalized like this, because he keeps opening the door for it. All right, AP, we have going to take a couple super chats, and we got one more topic, and that is the biggest fan of your greatest hero.
Hey, did you know that Muhammad was a goat?
Was he?
Yeah, because a goat just means greatest,
greatest
of all time.
time. So therefore,
And
Muslims
according to
believe that
Islam,
Muhammad, he was the greatest of all
He
time.
was the
Therefore,
greatest of all time. So
Muhammad was a
therefore,
goat.
Muhammad was a goat. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know
guys,
who else was a goat? Coincidence? Who else was a goat?
Hmm.
According to different occults and different ideas, an ultimate demonic figure representing Satan or whatever it could be was also a goat. So there you go.
Yep. Yeah,
Muhammad
and
was a
you
demon.
can actually combine the fallacies like Sneeko does. So Muhammad's the goat. What's the goat mean? Well, it means greatest of all time. Therefore, he's a goat. Well, who's also the greatest of all time? Michael Jordan. Therefore, Muhammad is Michael Jordan. What is this? This is like stupid. This is like basic level. I mean, my God, what is this, man? What is this religion?
I actually have a statue of Muhammad right here. And I know it's a very sensitive topic, but I actually have a statue of Muhammad.
What are you talking about? I have a statue of Muhammad right here.
I forgot about that. You could make
What?
it much
Muhammad is the
simpler,
goat.
Yeah.
Hey, Sneeko. Muhammad is the goat, right? Because goat means greatest of all time, and this is a goat. Therefore, Muhammad's a goat, right? Here's Muhammad screaming. Welcome to Dawa, ladies. This is what Dawa does to people. You just saw it. All right, we'll take a couple super chats. Then we got one more easy topic.
It also makes such a sound. Look.
Mm-hmm. Imagine denying the Son of the Living God for brownie points from a culture you don't even understand. We need a D Wood-led rosary live stream to wake them up.
Yes.
Not sure people are going to be waking up. Oh, not reading that one. Sophia says, I live near one of the protesting universities. Your streams help me cope with the hate and stupidity students post. Example, map of Israel as Palestine. Yeah, we've seen that a lot. Ali Dawa tricked you again. It was smiles with the whiteboard. You see? And it always could be. I mean, smiles to Jenna is the one who feeds him grapes. So, yeah. Was camel urine part of the humanitarian demand? Any list for demanding camel urine?
No, I didn't see it yet. No.
I am become trash can, destroyer of worlds. Those protesters were awesome. They legitimately cracked me up the way they're marching out. I'm sure someone has already put that to some epic music. I'm sure that's happened already. Because that was one heck of a charge. Oopsie, I just popped this protester. Oh yeah, that's why they need the HIV test. Christian the Christian, what's crazy to me is the pro-Palestine people are saying it's a genocide, but at the same time, they actually call for genocide of Israeli Zionists. Yeah, no one is accusing these people of being consistent. No one is accusing them of having a well-functioning moral compass. So, yeah.
They don't.
Would Hamas get cooked if they were stuffed into turkey? Yes, they'd get cooked.
Yeah, I think it's actually a perfect opportunity to have them in Turkey because there you could then hit two birds with one stone.
That'd be cool. Those brave knights charging the police. You said two birds with one stone. Those brave knights charging the police looked like something out of a Monty Python movie. Yeah, they did. It looked like some sort of... That's what I mean. That was one of the seriously funniest events to actually happen. These guys charging with garbage can shields.
And thinking, yeah, I saw this in a movie.
So many of us. And they just get crushed instantly and try to run. AP, do you like halva? My favorite flavor is pistachio. Haven't you been asked this before? It was Ashkenazi Jews who introduced it to America. More proof Jews are Middle Eastern.
You see, the Jews, they stole the halva.
You like that stuff?
I don't terribly long for it, but I used
What's that,
to
like ice
eat
cream or something else?
No, it's like I don't even know what that is. What you call that? But it's like it's some very basic sweet snack thing that is kind of hard. ish. I don't know what that's made of and what it's called.
Sounds delicious. I could eat it all day long. AP is gray-pilled. Gray for aliens. AP is gray-pilled. Sad.
Yes.
That is true.
Yeah.
IP has never disclosed his Christian denomination. The real presence is biblical. Get a Bible that has Jesus' words in red. Then read John chapter 6. Yeah, IP doesn't never mentions it, but I think he's letting the cat out of the bag with some of the things he says.
Where's the kid?
Abu Ahruf. So when Muhammad went around his wife's without doing wudu afterwards, he wasn't a Muslim. Not once, not twice, not 8 times. Disgusting Muhammad. Yeah, Muhammad would, for anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about, Muhammad would have sex with all 9 of his wives and then take 1 bath in the boiling hot Arabian desert. Imagine the smell if you're in wife number 9 before his bath. Ugh. Imagine him touching you. Imagine him touching you. He's covered in the sweat of 8 different brides before he gets to you. Ugh.
Maybe there was something ritually like important about it in a sense of establishing a sense of family and a sense of community where it's like
that's what it is.
Delivering the bodily fluids of one wife to the other wife and so on, and thereby creating unity.
Indeed. Got to be something good. Jesus is a Muslim. Sneeko is a Muslim. Jesus called God Father. Sneeko must call God Father. Guess he's an apostate. Yep, Sneeko's an apostate following the same reasoning that he uses for dawah.
Based.
Orthodox Jews bow and prostrate themselves on the high holidays. Does that make them Muslims? According to Sneeko?
Yes.
Absolutely. And so they're the true
Hindus
Muslims. They're the true Muslims. So why would they be kicked off the land when they are true Muslims?
There is a Hindu practice of prostrating as well, although it looks it is more like the
pretty much everyone has a culture of prostrating. You go back to the Greeks and so on. Even though they're bowing to pagan gods, they have a practice of prostrating. Therefore, they're all Muslims because they all bow down.
And if I punch you in the face and knock you out and put you on the ground, then you also prostrate.
You're a Muslim. This proves that you're a Muslim. Good thing Sneeko is here to set everyone straight. We have been misunderstanding this for years. His dedicated research is unparalleled. Absolutely. Goat screams Allah. Goat screams Allah. I can't not hear it. Does it actually sound like Allah if you think about it? Let's see. It actually does if you think about it like that.
Yeah. There's a little
Here you go. Watch this. Akbar.
Yeah. There was a little bridge there in the middle.
Right.
Like,
Hey, I wonder if we could actually pay, we find out who make these and we could pay them someone made in China. If we could actually pay someone to make it Allahu Akbar, that would be funny. That would be classic. All right, one more super chat here, and then we're gonna go into our final topic of the day. I used a seer stone to reveal a gold Bible. Therefore, Muhammad used the black seer stone to reveal the Quran. You see, I got this. Yeah, apostate Joseph Smith. It's Joseph Smith. It's the actual Joseph Smith. He used the seer stone for his gold book. What are you doing with your goat?
You know what's the stupid thing? When I got this, like the day that I got this, I picked it up and I only touched the ear and it fell off.
What?
So
would you glue it back on?
I had to. I put Gorilla Glue on it and left it somewhere. And
that's good. That's good. All right. One last topic, ladies and gentlemen. AP, you heard of this? Have you heard of this Nick Fuentes guy? Some people call him Nick. Some people call him Nick Fritos. But
Nick
he's what we, I don't know what he considers himself. He's what we would consider some sort of like neo-Nazi and so on. I've seen him say
says he's a Christian nationalist, which is
Christian nationalist, and apparently, I think like white nationalist. He wants a white Christian Catholic, a white Catholic nation that is only for white Catholics or something like that, right? That's what he's fighting for.
Yeah,
And
he wants a white nation. Wants to get rid of race mixing, and he wants segregation. He wants a theocratic, fascist Catholic state, which explicitly embraces and teaches Catholicism, and no longer the corrupted Protestantism either.
yeah, and even though
And which
there
all
are
persecutes Jews.
even though there are lots of groups in the world that would interfere with his white Catholic dream nation, where him and his groypers can sit around being as super white and Catholic and crushing everyone else. Even though there's all kinds of groups that could stand in the way of that, right? Every different race, every different religion, every different sect of non-Catholic sect of Christianity and so on. Everyone would be an obstacle to that, but there's one particular group he hates way, 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 way more than every other group. And that's the Jews. And I don't know what he said, but at some point he got banned from Twitter, I think in like 2020 or something like that. Yeah. And he's kind of... I'm guessing he got banned from YouTube because I haven't seen him there. He got banned from YouTube, got banned from Twitter, got banned from all the main social media platforms, ended up on Rumble. He's even had stuff banned on Rumble, where one time he was actually at a rally actually calling for violence against Jews. And we could only find that on some weird site that I'd never seen before because it was the only place where it wasn't completely banned. But watch what happens, AP. There's a Twitter thread here. Ready? Got a little Twitter thread. Turns out he does have a lot of fans, especially after the protest. He really, really started winning more fans after October 7th because he really doesn't like Jews, and there are a bunch of people looking for a new hero. And Nick Fuentes is that hero for Jew haters of the world. Muslims now love him. They're celebrating him. Neo-Nazis, everyone's celebrating for old Nick. But let's check this out. So this guy, don't know who this is, Defiant Els. He says, describe Joshua in 2 words or less. And he's talking about this other person's tweets here. Joshua P. Hill. So look at what Joshua P. Hill. So Defiant L is pointing out how silly this guy is because these are posted only 2 days apart. And this is recent. So on 4/25, so April 25th, let this radicalize. Joshua P. Hill posted, today starts with cops attacking students for their solidarity with Gaza in Atlanta, Chicago, and Princeton, New Jersey. The Free Palestine movement, like every single movement for a better world, requires the abolition of the police. Got that? Got that? The Free Palestine movement, like every single movement for a better world, requires the abolition of the police. This guy wants police abolished so that these wonderful movements can make a better world. Get rid of police. He said it. He's not saying defund. He's saying abolish. Abolish the police. 2 days later, same guy. White supremacists are now marching in Charleston, West Virginia, with no police in sight. So now he's complaining that police aren't stopping this. So he wants police not interfering. He's saying, oh, look at this. Police are interfering with a protest. Hey, we have to abolish the police. 2 days later, hey, look, white supremacists. Why aren't police stopping this? We need more police. Interesting fellow. So anyway, Defiant Els says, describe this guy in 2 words or less. And then Elon actually responded with his 2 words. His 2 words are goldfish memory. He posted completely contradictory demands only 2 days apart. Yes, we need more police, and we need to abolish the police. So Elon just jumped in there and responded to this dude. But guess what? That's when the groypers are going to jump in. He posted completely contradictory demands only 2 days apart. Elon's pointing out how silly this guy is, how incoherent the person's thinking is. So that's what Elon posted. A groyper is there to respond, and responds to Elon's tweet with, you work for Jews. You work for Jews. Elon says, hey, this guy's incoherent. And the response is, you work for Jews. Look at the channel name. Gas. What do you think that means? Christ Futurist Z. Gas. He names himself Gas. But he says to Elon, you work for Jews. And then he quotes Nick Fuentes, who says, hey, what does it say about our society that the cops let BLM torch our cities but won't let students criticize Israel? Yeah, isn't that interesting, AP? Students aren't allowed to criticize Israel. I haven't seen any criticism of Israel since October 7th. Absolutely none whatsoever. Students just aren't allowed to criticize Israel. Thank you for pointing that out, Nick.
Why
Fuentes.
is nobody allowed to criticize Israel? I never hear anybody.
Yeah, I've never heard a criticism of Israel, not once in my entire life. Thanks, Nick Fuentes. And he says, what does this mean? But since students are not allowed to criticize Israel, it can't happen. It means that Jews control America. That is the obvious conclusion. Jews control America. The evidence, the proof, is that students are not allowed to criticize Israel. You've never once in your life, ladies and gentlemen, heard or seen from someone, a college student, criticizing Israel. It's impossible. It will never happen. And so that's what Gas here, a fan of Nick Fuentes, said. You work for Jews. Everyone is working for Jews. But it's not done there, because Elon responds to the groiper. Probably the greatest moment of that groiper's life, Elon Musk responding to him. He says, while I don't condone all the actions of any one group, I must admit to being openly philo-Semitic and generally try to see the good in all people, unlike the groipers. So he says, hey, I don't condone all the actions, but I do like the Jews. That's not going to go over well with the groipers. But let's see. Then we have Goya Bean Groiper. The groipers are good at stalking and harassing people. But Goya Bean Groiper responds to Elon's comment, and he says, bring Nick Fuentes back on Twitter. He has been banned since 2021. What happened to your promise, big guy? Promise for freedom of speech. So they called him out. And Elon replies, very well, he will be reinstated, provided he does not violate the law, and let him be crushed by the comments and community notes. So Elon believes that Nick will be crushed by the comments and the community notes. It is better to have anti-whatever out in the open to be rebutted than grow simmering in the darkness. So this is Elon Musk, who bought Twitter, saying that Nick, who's been banned for 3 years from Twitter, saying that Nick will be allowed to return to Twitter as long as he doesn't break any laws. And he says it's actually better if you get it out in the open. And someone, Ashley St. Clair, responded to Elon, said, this will get enormous backlash, but if it is to be a free speech platform, it is the right move, the perfect move. I say this as someone who has been viciously attacked by his followers for years now. I do believe Nick was also incredibly radicalized as a result of censorship. And then Elon responded to that. Fate loves irony, but hates hypocrisy. I cannot claim to be a defender of free speech, but then permanently ban someone who hasn't violated the law, no matter how much I disagree with what they said. This will probably cause us to lose a lot of advertisers and makes me sad, but a principle is a principle. So Elon is saying if he's going to be the champion of free speech here, he has to walk the walk, and even someone he completely disagrees with, like Nick Fuentes, he says, is going to be welcome back on the platform. AP, this is actually a very, very difficult issue because platforms are allowed to decide which content can be on their platform and not. That's allowed. That's Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which was made for these kinds of purposes. But it allows these platforms to have their platform status, which is different from a publisher status, but they can have platform status, retain platform status, which gives them certain privileges as far as not being sued for the content on their sites. but it does allow them to ban content that is harmful. And you could definitely view Nick's content as harmful. So Elon has every right, as far as the law is concerned, to ban that kind of content. But if you are putting yourself forward as the champion of free speech, this is the free speech platform. He's saying, well, then I can't be a hypocrite and I have to allow Nick to present his views. What do you think?
Well, I just have one objection here, which is so Elon there initially, when responding to that Defiant L's post, says goldfish memory because the person just contradicts himself. It seems that Elon Musk also has goldfish memory because Elon Musk just, I believe, several months ago said that that people who belittle or justify or otherwise, I think, approve or something like that, genocides or genocidal actions will not be allowed on the platform and will be banned, which is what his justification was. For example, for someone who used the phrase "from the river to the sea," no matter what. And for somebody else who was making fun of the possibility of killing all Jews. Nick Fuentes has on multiple occasions not only denied the Holocaust or denied aspects of the Holocaust, but also justified massacres or mass killings of Jews, and basically implied that they had it coming and all that. His audience is very well known for wishing for it and making fun of it and advocating for it. So Elon Musk is hereby directly contradicting himself, and he is actually the one with the goldfish memory, it seems. So yeah, I understand you want to be a guy with a free speech platform, but then you have to make a decision. Are you actually going to have a completely relaxed free speech platform where everyone can say whatever they want, or will you apply certain bans on certain clear standards, but then not ever actually stay loyal to those standards and just flip-flop and be ambiguous and arbitrary on a case-by-case basis? It doesn't make much sense. So that's my only issue. And he says that Nick Fuentes will be allowed back because he's not breaking the law. Fine, if he says something that does break the law, or if he says something that borders on breaking the law, or if he says something that he previously said would get someone banned, will he then ban him? And if so, then why is he allowing the guy to come on in the first place? Because if you want to just go and look at the history of Nick Fuentes, and you will see all the time him dehumanizing Jews, dehumanizing other people. I just saw a clip the other day of him calling Jews filth. He was describing Jewish people as filth, and he's talking about destroying Jews and things like that. It's endless. But hey, I don't know. Let's see where this goes.
Yep. And yeah, I have mixed feelings because I like freedom of speech, even if that means a bunch of horrible people get to say horrible, messed up things and rile up a mob and so on. But freedom of speech on a platform is not exactly the same thing. When you're talking about freedom of speech, you're normally talking about the government not stopping you from speaking, not what is allowed on some website that someone actually owns. But Elon is saying, yeah, he doesn't have any legal obligation to allow Nick Fuentes to be on his platform. He's saying, I've decided that I'm making this a really, really, really pro free speech site and so on. Even there, it's like, who's running it then? I mean, John McRae just got like three tweets banned, and he had to take them down. It was just basic stuff like criticizing Muhammad's relationship with Aisha and so on. It's like basic stuff. He got hit. They said he has to remove that stuff, and he actually took it down. So wait a minute. We can't criticize Muhammad for having sex with a prepubescent girl, but Nick Fuentes gets to spend every waking moment for the rest of his life whining about Jews. So it's like, okay, if this is what you're going to be, then stop banning this weird stuff over here. If this guy's allowed, there's nothing that we could ever say that shouldn't be allowed. My concern is the sites that just are anything goes sites. There are sites that are like that. It's just anything goes. They usually turn into cesspools where normal people don't want to be on them anymore, right? If every time you post anything, it's this bombardment of all anti-Semitic stuff or racist stuff, things like that. You're just like, I don't want to go on there anymore. And what that means is it becomes more and more heavily really, really messed up people with really messed up ideas, because normal people start going somewhere else. And so it's almost like you kind of need like two sections. Like there should be like two sections of Twitter. Here's for people who don't want all this stuff, and over here, that's the free for all side. And if you go over there, understand it's chaos and anarchy, and people are saying really, really messed up stuff. If you don't like that, then stay over here. That's where we have some rules. Matter of fact, that would be a good idea if you actually wanted something that works, because people freak out. What you saying? You this person over here won't want to listen to that. Guys, that's how life is. In the United States of America, you're free on a public sidewalk to say what you want. I don't have to listen to you. I don't have to ever be anywhere near you. I could go over here and just be around people I like. So you could actually have a situation like that where here's the total free for all section of Twitter. If you want to be in there and you understand that this is going to be a free for all, you can be over there. If you want something different, here's the area where these are the rules. Here's this other area where these are the rules. And like over here, these are like really like child friendly area. So if you want to be on Twitter and you're young or something like that, you could be over there. And over here, we have different rules and stuff. And then people could just kind of select what they want. But I don't know how it's going to work, but that's one of the interesting things. We're still trying to figure out how this works. How do you respect freedom of speech while dealing with people with legitimately awful ideas? Terrible people with awful ideas. What do you do?
There's also there is the irony, right? Which has been this whole idea has been around forever. The irony of free speech, where you provide free speech, where you give people free speech, but then you also, if you're completely tolerant in giving people all kinds of freedoms and giving people free speech, you will end up giving people freedom who are totally against freedom. You're giving people a platform. You're giving people power who are for taking all your freedoms away and turning it into total fascism. In this case, we talk a lot about Islamists, about Muslims who believe in abolishing free speech and actually executing us. When it comes to these gropers, they are fascists. They are actual fascists. They don't believe in free speech. They believe in free speech only as long as it concerns them, as long as they are the ones whose speech is being suppressed, and they fight for their freedom to say whatever they want. But in their ideal system, they would take over and shut everything down and ban you from speaking and make it punishable.
And ban you from their country.
Yeah, ban you from their country as well.
Yep.
And possibly even put you in camps and kill you all over again. So, and they openly believe in it. He made a whole speech where he talked about how democracy needs to be abolished, for example, and Judaism needs to go, democracy needs to go, and things like that.
Yep.
Is that really somebody that want to give power and freedom to? There is a great irony where you're handing the gun to someone who wants to shoot you. That is one issue. The other issue, of course, is that gropers are people who very much rely on platform manipulation. They use bots in masses. Nick Fuentes himself has multiple throwaway accounts, multiple different fake accounts with which he has been on Twitter for this entire time, just under different names. And they always do this flooding with comments whenever their name appears somewhere. They're a bunch of losers who are in their basements just typing garbage on 4chan and thinking they are actually going to change the world. And with Elon Musk's platform, Elon, who doesn't really who makes a lot of promises, but who doesn't really keep those promises. Like he is the guy who said that he will get rid of all the bots and of all the spam messages. David, I'm sure you're getting these things too, right? You make a post on Twitter, and one of the replies is nudes in bio.
Yeah, pretty much every tweet. I end up blocking between 1 and 3 of those pretty much every tweet because it's instant. As soon as I post nudes in bio, and then I block those 1 to 3. Next tweet, it's others. So the point is, there are tons of those. There are tons of those bot accounts. Yeah.
And gropers use that kind of stuff as well. I don't know. This is all problematic, but let's see.
It is, yeah. And I guess we'll just have to. I guess Nick's coming back thanks to Elon, and I guess we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
What could go wrong? All right, a couple more super chats, and then we're out. I was reading the Hadith, but it's super boring and repetitive. That's true. Not as bad as the Quran, though. If you compiled just the wacky leather strap ones and published it, it'd sell like Zamzam water. AP, that's actually a good idea. We should put together a book. We'll just stick it on like Amazon, just the self-publishing thing. Hadiths and Quran verses that non-Muslims or Westerners, something like that, need to be aware of. And it's just like 10 or 15, between 10 and 20 hadiths and like 10 to 20 Quran verses with some explanations of why it's important for them to know, and just stick that out there. And then it was like the basics that all these people who don't know the basics need to know. And then people could share that with their friends.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a dope idea. That's a dope idea.
That'd be fun.
Mm-hmm. Regarding the Benny Hill song, David, for the love of God, do not look up Tribute WMV. It's a 9/11 to that theme you hummed. I wouldn't actually want to watch that. 9/11 stuff too, the Benny Hill song. Did you see that video of that Muslim immigrant desecrating a Shinto shrine in Japan? No, they don't seem to be integrating. I did get a comment, a message earlier saying, "Please rescue Japan from Islam." I was like, "What? You don't have much Islam in Japan."
What do they want from Shinto shrines?
See, it's got to be a mosque. My 6-year-old daughter loves Jesus Christ. That's good. It's good. Anyone can claim to be Catholic, but remember, true Catholics fulfill biblical prophecy by calling a Jewish woman blessed and honor her.
I don't want to speak on the authority or on behalf of Catholics.
Too late. You
or
already do.
But here I am. This is a thing.
Here I am. I can do no other. All right, go ahead.
Gropers want to speak in the name of Christians and Christianity a lot because they like to use it for political purposes, which is very funny because most of those people probably don't have any idea about the contents of the Bible, don't know much about Christianity, probably don't practice Christianity, don't care about Christianity very much, but they like to use it for political reasons. They call themselves Catholics. A big surprise. Nick Fuentes is a Catholic, and who thinks Catholics should be imposed on everyone. They call themselves Catholics, but they don't agree with any with Catholic doctrines, with Catholic history, Catholic teachings throughout Catholic history. They don't adopt Catholic morals. They don't adopt Christian morals. They don't care about what Jesus actually says. They don't care about what Paul actually says about Jews, for example. They just take certain things. Like they are on the forefront of those people who say all Jews are the synagogue of Satan, for example, this is just a clear and very simple distortion of scripture, which you otherwise see from people like Muslims, for example, where you say that where you use a something that something like synagogue of Satan, like, oh look, it says here synagogue of Satan, therefore all Jews are part of the synagogue of Satan. They're all evil. They all follow Satan. Their father is Satan, and so on. Completely disregarding everything positive, everything good that has been said about them, completely disregarding what Jesus says when he says, "Forgive them, for they do not know what they do," and so on, completely disregarding every single Christian value, every single Christian aspect, every single Christian teaching. They simply go only for whatever they want to, whatever serves their ridiculous agenda, and they abuse Christianity. They abuse Christian ethics and Christian slogans and Christian values in order to further their neo-Nazi insanity. These people. I mean, I'm not joking when I say that I am a better Christian than those people are.
Better than
I do
Nick
more for
Fuentes?
Christianity. I do more for Christianity than Nick Fuentes and the Gropers do.
But you're not getting rid of the Jews, which is the most important thing. Isaiah 53 says, I pray for you guys just about every day because God blessed you with this ministry. AP is part of this ministry. I feel like I'm losing brain cells every time I hear their dumb answers, lol. Yeah, that's, yeah. It's, you feel, when you listen to the Dawa guys, you either feel like you're losing brain cells or you want to go take a shower or both. Prostate Aladdin. Way too much sarcasm. Nowhere near enough trigger warnings in this stream. Shame on you. Yeah, I always forget the trigger warning. I need to put up a sign before I go live to remember to have more trigger warnings. Could you guys please review Mojob's though questions? Was that tough questions?
Though questions.
Was that those Russian or Turkish dudes or whatever? Is that another reference to that? Is that show called Tough Questions or something like that?
I don't know. We could look at those.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. Yeah, we will go through that. If Muhammad Hijab was talking about Christianity on one of those shows, we'll go through it at some point because we know it's going to be very enlightening. Rachel says, would you consider doing a video with traveling Israel info? Also, I'm so happy I finally got to see your show live.
Yes, Rachel, we will do that.
You'd be willing to do a show? Yes, we are. You've heard it here. I don't know who that is, but yes. If AP's willing, then yes, we'll do it. Any chance you guys could debate Ali Dawa? What? Ali Dawa? No, Ali Dawa is never going to debate anyone else again in his life. Any chance you guys could debate Ali Dawa or Mojab again in the future? On our end, can I say this, AP? On our end, we are willing. We do not think they are going to do that. We do not think they would do it.
Yes.
Can we agree that we would be happy to have a 2-on-2 debate with Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa?
I agree.
We agree.
I would do it tonight if they agree.
So you heard it here, folks. Their legendary idiocy always makes for the funniest content. Yes, and that's why it is very good that they have become as popular as they have become. Pablito in bio. Who's taking bets on how long Nick Frito's unban actually lasts? My bet is less than 2 minutes. He can't help being a morally bankrupt individual who should be banned just for saying he's a Christian. Yeah, that's the question is, I personally think if he gets back on, he's going to be somewhat careful on what he says because you won't want to get, once you've been banned and you realize how difficult that can be, if you get unbanned for some reason, you're going to want to keep that going. It sucks being on platforms out in the middle of nowhere and so on. So I think I would guess he will adapt. He's going to be saying horrible stuff, but people are saying horrible stuff all the time there. Jake Shields, all these guys, Suleiman Ahmed, they're all saying horrible stuff constantly, and they get away with it. So he'll at least be at that level. What's that?
Did you see the Palestine LGBTQ flag?
I've seen it before.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah, we need to get one of those and have it waving in the background of all stuff. Have it in the background of all our videos. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We went through what, about half a dozen topics here. Those will, so again, put up there's another channel for the shorter clips. So this was a long little over 3 hour live stream, and we covered a number of topics. If you want to share any of those individual topics, they will be cut up on the channel Christian and Atheist React. So be sure to check that out. If there's any of the particular topics that you want to share, that's where those will be. All right, AP. We don't know what we're covering yet tomorrow, do we? Could be Destiny, or something else.
Most likely, the whole Destiny and the Nick Fuentes' boyfriend, the debate. It looks like an interesting one, so we'll probably have
all right. That. That's what we'll be most likely be checking out tomorrow. All right.
Yep.
See you all then. All we can say in the meantime is the greatest song ever.
Ain't gonna follow no child molester, sex offender.
Prepare your coat.
Pretender. Ain't gonna follow no child molester.
Islam's not for me.
Get your goat ready.
Islam's not for me.
Islam's not
for me.
Powerful dawah. Thank you, Muhammad the Goat.